Hey, what's going on, everyone? Turn up this. There we go. There he is indeed. It's you, Nick. You're the guy. What's going on tonight? What's up, Jeremy? How you doing, buddy? What do you guys got tonight, Nick and Jeremy? You got the Avs, you got the Oils. What's going on, Luke? I love that you're still watching hockey, even though the Leafs are out. That's a good fan. Go Oilers indeed, Matt. Anthony, hey, my man. Oils steal game 1. I like it. I like it. Nick just wants to troll Gannon. I like it. I smashed the bet on the Oilers. I'm that confident in them. I gotta go with the greatness, you know? You gotta go with it. You gotta go. Yeah, Jeremy, like, let's be honest, man. You should like the Avs. Like, all signs point to the Avs. Kook, what's up, man? Who is Connor McDavid? No idea. Never heard of him. Guys, Gary will be moderating for you today. One of the members on our channel. He'll mod the chat. If you need anything, you can reach out to him. I just don't feel that invested in this stream. First time, Kook, we're streaming in the West. We were doing the East exclusively. Looking forward to my Tampa, New York preview. Tampa resident. Well, while we wait for the game to start, I won't make you wait for the video drop. One, because there's so little time between now and when they start. So it'll be a very, very condensed version if I can get to it. I think at the end of the day, of course Shesterkin can win, and of course the Rangers can win. There's no reason they can't. But I'm getting this real Montreal versus Tampa vibe when Price was carrying. So Price and Shesterkin both top of their game right now into the playoffs, but the problem is so is Vasilevsky. So if you've got elite goalie on elite goalie, then you likely have to go down to the team, and I like the Tampa Bay team better. So I just don't know if the Rangers' format of winning, which is 25 to 28 shots, is going to be able to do it against a Bolts team with the firepower they have. But then, that being said, if the Rangers do win, I don't think it's much of a steal as people think it is, because Shesterkin's that good too. So it's tough. Who the hell is Connor McDavid? Sounds like a bum. He's a pretty good player. No, I'm with you, Gary. The Coyotes are not moving. The NHL will die on that hill. I don't know why. If they were going to move, they would have moved 10, 15 years ago. McDavid sounds like a player that doesn't take enough penalties. What about his elbows, center ice? Hey, Philip, welcome. Tampa sweeps. Vasi is too good. Hey, I feel that. Anthony, I agree. The Rangers power play is going to have to be lights out. You know what the problem is with the Bolts? Is the Bolts penalty kill is very good right now. Very good. Ironically, the only team left with a penalty kill as good as the Bolts is the Oilers. Dan the man, the Rangers should scare you. Any team that has a hot goalie like the Rangers do, that should scare you. I mean, every team's going to be good, but there is something about a goalie that can do what both Vasilevsky and Shesterkin can do, and they're the best two goalies left. The thing is that it's Vasilevsky until it's not. That's how I always feel. He has not done anything to not claim top of the mountain status, so he's still top of the mountain. Hey, Daniel J. Welcome, man. Oh, it's raining in Colorado. You know why it's raining in Colorado? Because it's raining in Winnipeg. And do you know why it's raining in Winnipeg? Because we have a Colorado low. Thanks, Colorado. Literally, we have had 3 terrible weekends in a row and 2 blizzards because of these Colorado lows. We need more of an El Nino. Fix this weather. Carolina was healthy. Ranta played okay. This is going to be a heck of a test, though. Avs fans are filling in. Denver's ready to go. They had a rough go with the Broncos this year, so they're looking for a little bit of hockey help. Hey, if you haven't yet on the stream, go ahead, throw that thumbs up there for me so it spreads around. Reimer and Mrazek, former Leafs greatness. I guess one's current Leafs greatness. Sarcasm. Going from a backup goaltender to an elite starter. See, Gary's got a point here, and that's what I'm curious with the Rangers about is how are they going to do now that they're facing an elite goaltender? I would argue they faced an elite team in the Canes. The Canes got a very good team. So does Tampa. But the goalie for Tampa, once you add Vasilevsky, that firepower, it's crazy. Dan the man. Sunshine State, what's life in Manitoba all about? Well, it's very, very simple. It's a farming province, that's for sure. It's prairies, so it's very similar to North Dakota, South Dakota. All concentrated in one giant city named Winnipeg, and by giant we mean 750,000 people with no real surrounding suburbs to speak of that are worth noting. Weather's beautiful in the summer. Everybody here has a cottage. Cost of living is low. Safety is high. People are wonderful. Winter sucks. And the Jets rock. That is life in Manitoba. Very simple. It's all about, I would say, if you're from the Sunshine State, me and Gary were talking about this actually. He used to be from Florida. The thing with Manitoba, and I think the prairies as a whole, is we've got that independent vibe that you'd expect from more of a rural area, but we're very much about the community, meaning, I think we're more okay paying a couple extra bucks in tax to make sure people got things they want. We'll go out of our way to make sure people do. So I think that's a little bit of a difference between the Sunshine State and Manitoba. Locke is going to start in Seattle. You're calling it now. You're not banking on Geno Smith, the elite former first-round pick? I think you're right, Luke. I think it's Locke. New York has never faced a starter in the postseason. That's the common thread that's coming in, Philip. I agree. Double dub. What's going on? Well, thanks for checking in. We appreciate it, Dub. Hey, John Andrews. Cost of living low, say no more. So, John, like, what's low cost of living for you guys? Like a house here in Manitoba averages $380,000 Canadian right now. That's our average home price for, I guess that would be like a 1,200 square foot house. Love the rock on. Hook and horns. What's up, Tony Blando? I'm so excited for this series, Tony. I am so pumped. Hey, Jameson Orr, go Avs. Funny thing about Jameson Orr, guys. So Colton Orr is from Winnipeg, of course, former New York Ranger. There you go. NHL player. He's got a brother named Jameson. So when Jameson Orr reached out and said, "Hey, how's it going, coach?" and at it, I was like, "Hey, is this brother of Colton Orr?" Turns out different guy. Still a great guy though. Welcome, Jameson. Every time Tampa's gone to the finals, they had to beat a New York team. Well, I mean, that's fair. There's 2 of them, and they're both pretty good. New York gets 2 of everything. Of course they do. Great city. Yeah, rent's gone up everywhere, John. I feel that. Rent is different. It's tough to rent these days, I think, in a lot of spots. I love the weather of Florida. I love the people of Manitoba. I've been to Florida a bunch of times. Parents bought a 1,200 square foot house in Clearwater in 2001 for $145K. It's worth about $480. I would say, Gary, similar stuff happened here. Like, so I'm 36. If I would have bought a house in 08, 09, like if I wouldn't have bought a car like every other young, dumb person and spent my money on a house, I would have saved a lot. Like a ton. I think they've nearly almost 3.5 times since 01 probably. So we went up 01, cheap, 08, cheap. Not as cheap as 01, but cheap compared to now. 13, super expensive, and then it just went up from there. Golf Master, what's going on? Gannon? You can't hear me, but I just came to say, let's go Oilers. There he is. Hey, if you guys haven't done it, join the Discord if you haven't there. A nice 8-day vacation for the Oilers. Hey, Lucas. A lot of guys on the Oilers bandwagon in here. What kind of defensive strategy succeeds against McDavid? So here's how I would play against McDavid, guys. I've played against, like, I haven't played against McDavid, but when we were coaching against what we would call a game breaker, because, you know, at the junior level, there are NHL prospects playing in the juniors, like a Kale Makar, for instance, or whatever, that can break a game open at that level. And when you get a guy that can single-handedly put a game on his back, the key to it is to not over-concentrate on that player. You got to realize that when he's off the ice, it's your time to score. So you want to know he's there. You want to know he's available. But the more resources you spend on shutting down one guy, the less resources you have to contribute to your own team success. And I think that was the failing of the Calgary Flames. I think Markstrom, the first line of the Flames as a whole, I don't think they played their game. They let McDavid right in their head, live rent-free, and he did. I don't think anything the Avs do, theoretically, is going to stop McDavid and Draisaitl from having a 2-point night. But that doesn't mean you can't win. Sup, Sweep the Leg, my favorite name ever. Sweep the Leg. Hilarious. I don't know why it's so funny. Every time I laugh. It's like the B-sharps. Hey, Henry. Hey, Tony. Tony, I'm kind of thinking, is it McDavid versus McKinnon or is it McDavid versus Makar? This is Makar's chance to really show everybody how good he is. That's a big thing for me. Makar, this series could build the legend that is Makar. If Makar can stick with McDavid and even more so shut down McDavid, or go the third step, which is shut down McDavid and continue to play his game and score, that's it. Makar's the best defenseman in the NHL. Maybe the best player in the NHL if he can do that. Makar really has an opportunity here to make a legend for himself. Hey, Brandon. Colorado should employ playing Edmonton after dealing with St. Louis. St. Louis is so physical. They will beat the crap out of you. This should be a softer series in that sense. Colorado's a perfect team. It's their year. Taryn, you know what? I think they're near perfect. They're as perfect as it's going to get. I'm nervous about Kemper. I'm very nervous about Kemper for Colorado. Starts hot, he'll be fine. What's up, Joe? Joe's right. Kadri. If Kadri can live rent-free in the Oilers' head, that's going to be something. Tkachuk failed at that. Tkachuk tried to. You could see him really trying to get under Kane's skin, but he didn't get there. Henry, did you play in the AJHL? Were you an AJ guy? Or you just mean your junior hockey team that you watched? McDavid Bardowski, first goal. Melatonin dreams. Joe, who you got in this series? You going for Edmonton or you want to save that first cup in Canada for the Leafs? So go Avs. Which one you got, Joe? Damn it, Bobby. Over under 2.5 Kane penalty. You know what? I actually think Kane's going to keep his cool against Kadri. They don't like each other for those in this series, so I think that's why damn it Bobby brings it up. Yeah, I don't think they're the best of friends. And Kane's a tough customer, so I'll still never forget young man Kane knocking out Matt Cook. Yes, the Avs do get a lot of scoring from their defensemen. You guys can expect, I think you can expect a very healthy dose of Taze and Makar. I truly believe because they have home ice change, meaning they can go out and they can line match. I think you're going to see Taze and Makar basically lined up against McDavid for 50% of the game. Not 50% of his shifts, because I think McDavid's going to carry almost 50% of the ice. But I think we can expect 45 to 50% of the ice time going to Makar and Taze right away. Henry, you played for your Pee Wee team. Okay, nice. Yeah. So tell me, when you play Pee Wee against a future pro, do they stand out or did he take a while to develop? Most kids I've learned that at 12, if they're going to make the NHL, they're miles above everybody. Taryn Boot, you were right. If McDavid gets shut out tonight, the media will lose their mind, and not in a, I don't think in a negative way. I think it'll just be a mad talking point. Be pretty incredible. Matt, I'm excited too. Joe says he can get behind the Oilers. All right. Look, Joe, I'm a Jets fan, and I'm behind the Oilers. I can get behind them. I'm not cheering against the Avs fans. I like Avs too. It's just I'm in for this story here. Yeah, so Henry says Makar was a freak at 12. And of course they are. That's the way Seth Jarvis was. They're just miles above everybody else. The only way Edmonton wins is Smith plays out of his mind. Brandon, like Smith, he's a roller coaster. You get him at the top, and if Smith has a good first period and doesn't let in two soft ones right away, you're going to have a battle. If Smith lets in two soft ones in the first 5 minutes, game's over. At least in terms of Smith. Draisaitl, the one-legged beast. Unbelievable what he's doing with a high ankle sprain. I'm not wondering if it's not getting better. He looks very strong. Much stronger than he did game 1 with his injury. He really looks like he's skating well. Kemper shout out incoming, unfortunately. Hey, let's see it. Let's see it. I can easily pivot to great storylines. Look, hey, my team is out, so I am allowed to just swing with the wind here, team. I can go any way I want because I'm just on a bandwagon at this point. Here bringing you guys some content. First win of the draw goes over to the Avs. Avs quickly regroup, put it into the zone. Mike Smith goes out to play it. That's a big X factor for the Oilers. Best puck playing goalie. Oilers turn it over, though, right to McKinnon. That's not the guy you want to give it to. McKinnon's got it on the rope. Puts it end up, down low. Can't move it up to a point. Why? Because Draisaitl's in the way. Now we're on a transition game. Almost offside, pushed off by the Oilers. Draisaitl recuperates. CC ends up throwing it in. Hyman with a big hit. Hyman's a big physical guy. So here we see it right away. Makar and Taze are matched up against the line they need to be matched up against. Darnell Nurse can be a big X factor. Someone told me he's playing hurt. He really hasn't played like himself. Not $9.5 million of himself. We'll see if he's able to fight through this injury. Kane's in deep on the puck. There's Nugent Hopkins out there with him. So it looks like Hyman's going to be starting with McDavid. Hopkins, Kane, and Yamamoto. Woodcroft is a mad scientist with his lines. He's an absolute mad scientist. For some teams it works. Other teams it doesn't. You need that consistency. We got Lettinen. He's out there with Kadri. Kadri's a slight man, eh? Tough character. Skinny, though. You see him lined up against some of the thicker boys. Hey, Janet, how you doing? Got to pick a team. Well, I've picked the Oilers on this one. Could be the wrong pick. I know I'm out on a ledge. Avs fans, don't take it personally. I understand. I'm on a ledge. I'm looking back. I'm alone. There's nothing going on there. I know there's other people cheering, but all the stats say this should go to Colorado. Every practical analyst says this should go to Colorado, but I'm jumping. I'm jumping with McDavid. Avs with McDavid or Oilers with Makar? Well, it would be Avs with McDavid. The Avs have a more well-rounded roster, in my opinion. Makar is obviously a game changer. How I view the NHL right now, team, is I do view McDavid in his own class. And then I've got guys like Makar, McKinnon, Hedman, Vasilevsky, Crosby, just these elite players in kind of the next tier below. And you can take any one of them you want. There's a reason to take every single one of them. But I believe out of all of that group that Cale Makar And some of you may already think it, that he's already there with McDavid. I think he could be for sure. I think he's half a step away still. Vander Kane turns away from the hit. I like that play. I don't think you should waste a lot of time throwing body here. You got to get back in the play. Tyson Barrie in on the puck. McLeod, they're going to hit him with their third line here now. All you have to do now, if you're Edmonton, is not get scored on with this line. Make sure the McLeod line doesn't get scored on. That's the key. Kemper's looking sharp. Nice glove save. No puck fumbling there. The media always has Connor ahead of McDavid. McKinnon, I mean, I can see, Brandon, why you'd say McKinnon is the best player. It's like when people say Lemieux is better than Gretzky, in my opinion. I'm not going to sit here and fight you on it. They're both great. But I have McDavid near the Gretzky level in terms of like the modern era. And I have McKinnon, you know, more near like a Joe Sakic or a Stevie Yzerman level. And that's still a huge compliment. McKinnon is awesome. Off the post. Short side. My problem with that is Kemper didn't see it. So when it hits off the post, you've heard me say it, it's just goalie being in good position. So nothing to worry about there. But the fact that he looked back, couldn't find it, that makes me a bit nervous. Puljujärvi is going to end up putting this in. He's starting to grow into himself, that Jesse Puljujärvi. Mr. Pool Party. Puck behind the net with one of the Johnsons, ends up moving it. I remember when Jack and Eric were the next great defensemen. Now they're on the same team. All right, let's take a look here at this replay. Yeah, see, so here's my problem on this replay for this shot that hits the post. Kemper is not doing a good job tracking with his glove. He should have had that. Like I don't know what's going on with his glove hand. It was the last series against St. Louis. He's reaching for pucks. I don't get it. Just hold your glove in position. It'll get there. Sweep the leg hasn't liked Kadri since his knee on knee. He's a very divisive player because of the long laundry list of suspensions that he's had. Nothing to do with Kadri as a man, but you know, there's just certain players that for some people, depending on their play and what they do to other players on the ice, they're not a fan of. And other times people are a fan of them, especially when they're on your team. I can see it both ways. Me personally, before the Jets came back, I was a massive Penguins fan, but I really didn't like Matt Cook. Even though he was on the Pens, wasn't a fan, but I get why people defend their guy. Kadri's, you know, said he's going to turn it around. Net comes off, goes back on. I love that you can play through that. Now we got some speed through the middle here. Nichushkin has turned into quite the beast. I remember when he was taken 10th overall for Dallas, ended up going back to the K. Now back super successful under Bednar. Nurse back for the puck here with McKinnon on him. Really nice reverse there by Nurse. Draisaitl's got to come up with this puck. He doesn't. Loses it back. Cece's in a 2-on-1 battle. Makar falls, or McKinnon falls, sorry. 16 minutes left on mine. 97's in. Oh my God, that should have been a goal. Really good defense there by Colorado, getting that stick lift under Dry. McKinnon back on the back check right now. Draisaitl reaching in. Big hit there by McDavid, but he ends up skirting away from it. That's going to be offside. Yeah, there you go. Check it up. This is going to be an exciting series. We're not going to see a lot of time in the neutral zone. This is going to be a lot of offensive zone time for either team. Lots of rushes, a lot of speed up the middle. One mistake, it's in the back of your net. Either squad. This could be in. Johnson misses wide. Dial that scope into the sniper there, buddy. Got to clear him out there. Can't let him stand in front. Don't cross-check. Got to stick lift if you're Edmonton. Colorado's buzzing here. I wouldn't say any panic yet for Edmonton. They should exit their zone. They do. This could be a goal. Boom. Goal. The transition game of the Oilers team. Vander Kane starts that. And this is what Colorado has to look out for. You can't leave Kemper alone for this. You cannot give up these types of rushes against the Edmonton Oilers. It doesn't matter how good your team is. These guys are monsters. Monsters on the rush. Scary. Little flip past Gonzos. Johnson gets caught. Got to be aware. Good goal. Not over. Just one goal. No big deal. If you're an Avs fan, huge goal for the Oilers, though. Big uplift if it's Evander Kane. Every time Evander Kane does something well, it lifts the Oilers at this point now. They're all fully, as a team, they're all fully bought into the redemption story. They're behind their teammate. They should be. There's nothing wrong with that. Gary says he's behind on his stream. Colorado's aggressive with their defensemen. They are. I don't think they can be in this series. There's only two ways the Oilers are going to score. They're going to score on you on the rush, and they're going to score on their power play. You want to take away the rush, you have to be very aware of that. But here we go, a 2-on-1. If they get this over, it's in. Boom, goal. Big answer back. Both these teams are great on the rush. If you're going to let it go cross ice like that, it's going in the back of your net all day. Smitty's not good enough to stop that. No way. Great answer there by Colorado. I can't remember who asked it earlier in the stream. They asked, how do you handle a player like McDavid? This is how you handle a player like McDavid. You don't worry about McDavid. Just play your game. Play your game. Keith Bouchard line gets burnt. We also talked about the fact that this third line, at least in our season preview, we talked about the Confer line, and the third line is a big difference maker. Huge difference maker for Colorado. When you go depth on depth, Colorado's going to win. Sorry, Gary. What a start is right, sweep the leg. How do you say Fran Coots? I always say it wrong. How do you say it? 10 seconds out of your stream. Sorry, Gary. Smith's going to play the puck behind the net. This is okay for Smith. This isn't going to get in his head. That was a very good goal. Smith isn't going to blame himself for that one. But if Colorado can get another one, especially quick, they're really going to get under Smith. If Smith can put like 5 or 6 big saves here together, they're in. Really good job there by Edmonton taking the puck away. That should have been in. If that puck got to McDavid, it was over. But that's the defensive prowess of Hyman. You got to watch out for 18 if you're Colorado. Does everything right at both ends of the ice. This should be a big body hit in the corner. Big hit on Taze. Makar comes in, lets him know. Francois. Okay, thank you very much. I will screw that up again in a second, but don't let me... keep me honest. Lars, what's going on? Am I watching on the People's Network CBC, Lars? No, I'm on Sportsnet. I have... my cable actually runs through my internet box, so Shaw will run it through there, and it puts me 90 seconds behind, Lars. I don't actually have the cable line into the box anymore. It runs off Wi-Fi. Just easier, less cables, but I'm 90 seconds behind, and then if you're streaming online on your computer, you're 90 seconds behind me. Remember when all our TVs used to be synced? Really nice draw there by Edmonton. Got to get out of their zone, and they do. Clean draws in your defensive zone are going to allow you to exit at all times. I feel like they've been all over Draisaitl here this period. That's a good thing if you're Colorado. I don't think Dry's had a lot of room to work here. McDavid's made his room. There's no question. Turnover here by Nichushkin. This is what you want. You want to neuter the McDavid line, play in the offensive zone. Oh, Dimitri, don't worry. All names are weird to me. I will butcher every name. Heading over to commercial. Edmonton's going to get destroyed playing this way. They don't have the depth to play a wide open game. You know what? I still think, Brandon, that Edmonton has to play wide open on the first two lines. Edmonton's strategy has to be to not get scored on when their depth is not on, wait, and then once the McDavid line is on or the Hyman line is on, I guess Hyman's playing with McDavid. Let's say the Kane line, the top 6. I do think they need to play a little more open. I don't think they can win a structured game if that makes sense. I mean, it is a structure, so it's not really a fair comment, but got probably a sketchy Russian stream. You got a great bowl of chili. Well, Matt, I wish I had some chili. That sounds good. I had some McNuggets because I'm an adult child for dinner. Hey, don't forget while it's on commercial, guys, if you haven't dropped a thumbs up, go ahead, do that. Apparently, Pat Maroon said on the Pat McAfee show that Connor McDavid will go down as one of the greatest players of all time, and nobody's talking about him. Interesting. Interesting perspective from Maroon down in the States. I think that's all we're talking about up here. Yeah, sweep the leg. I agree. If Edmonton doesn't push the pace, they're not going to win. They're not structured enough to win. So you and I fully agree. They have to play wide open and push it. They need a scoring race. That's what they need. They don't want to get into 1-0, 2-1 games. Mike Smith's strengths and weaknesses. So Smith's actually a former elite goalie. There's no question about it. He's won gold for Canada. He's absolutely phenomenal. Mike Smith's biggest weakness at this age, at 40, besides the age, and age gets us all. It's the way it goes. Your eyes get worse. Your reflexes get worse. There's nothing you can do about it, but your brain gets smarter and you still want to do the right things. So I think Smith's biggest weakness is realizing when he needs to play within himself. He's one of the best puck handlers in the league. He likes playing an aggressive game. But when Smitty just realizes he's 40 and plays the basic game, he can still be one of the best in the league. When he tries to do too much, he gets out of position and he can't make the save. And that's the problem. But all they need Smith to do is stop the first one. You can't expect, like, if Edmonton's going into this expecting Mike Smith to stop cross-crease passes and 2 or 3 rebounds, that's not the right expectation. Just stop the first one, like right here. Beautiful little save there. Right in the chest, no rebound. That's all you need. Kemper's only weakness is his glove hand. Edmonton's played structure hockey in the past. Yeah, but I don't think this team's there. If you try to play structured against the Avs, I think you're going to get eaten up. I mean, the Avs are one of, if not the best team remaining in the playoffs in the NHL as a whole all season. There's no surprise to anybody they're here right now. And that's all on the back of structure, depth, coaching, fundamentals. They do a lot of things the right way. So does Tampa. I think Tampa and the Avs are the two most structured, well put together teams. Doesn't mean they'll win, though. Edmonton's got the puck behind the net right now. They're buzzing. Puck's down low. You can't miss high and wide there. That's hit a mesh. That's interesting. If this hits the mesh now, the whole play goes forward, then I don't know what's going to happen. Makar's got the puck here. Babyface assassin. Love the mustache kid. They end up moving it over to Makar. Haven't seen too much yet from Makar that I would say is worldly here. He needs to have the puck on his stick in order to do the things he wants to do. Nice little outlet pass by him. Colorado's gone. They got numbers here. That's all you need from Mike Smith. That one simple save. Reset. Reset. As Tampa in the finals will be good, but you know, Brandon, I can't remember. You guys let me. I cannot remember a time 2 top teams played each other. I know Tampa isn't there in the standings, but I don't think anyone's surprised. There's always an underdog story here. Totally agree that McDavid could break up the entire structure of a team, sweep the leg if he wants. I think the big question for this series, does McDavid come back down to life and to normal? For normal is him, still very good, or does he stay at this unworldly level that he's at? Good play by Nurse here on the wall with Landeskog. Landeskog is an underrated big man in this league. Landeskog reminds me of an aggressive version of Joe Thornton. Joe Thornton was a very, very good at using his big body for position. Landeskog's the same. The difference is I feel like Landeskog will punch your teeth down your throat if you let him. He's a very tough guy. Just using that body position to power right through. Very important draw in here. Edmonton ends up winning it. High off the glass. Yeah, that's all you need. Could be an ice, though. Yeah, easy ice. Oilers are just darting for the zone, hoping for the stretch pass. That's what the Oilers got. Dero89, you're never too old for nuggets. Thank you, sir. What sauce do you get? I'm a hot mustard guy. They got Led Zeppelin playing in the arena. I love it. Shots are 4-2. 11:04 left on my stream for this. Big win by the Avs off that draw. Full zone control as well, too. Now they start the cycle. Nurse is going to break it up. You need puck support here. That puck support's going to be Mcdavid. You got your third puck support there, which is Cody Ceci. Good play. Someone's got to stay in front of the net, though. Normally, you have Draisaitl down low battling on the puck support, and you have Mcdavid ready for the stretch, but not this time. Seems like it's going to be Mcdavid supporting the puck down low, Draisaitl up high. I didn't see that a lot against the Flames. Oh, big hit there at center ice. McDavid is strong. Absolutely strong on his skates. Thanks so much, Matt. I really appreciate the super thanks, my friend. Audrey with the puck. Good glove save there by Smith. He's looking confident. He's looking confident, Smitty is. Landeskog just eats it on the replay here. Just toe picks. Look at how strong McDavid is here on this. Like, that is a big step up there by Taze. And he even looked back like, did that really just happen? This is just physics with McDavid. He's a skinny little guy in that sense, but he is so fast and grounded on his skates that he's a truck. I've watched him truck a couple people with what I'll call an offensive hit. As most hits are defensive, but he ends up hitting him doing an offensive play. Yamamoto is going to leave. One of the more exciting smaller guys in the league for a lot of guys. I really wanted him on the Jets. I thought he would grow actually a little more than he has, to be honest. Not in size, but in gameplay. Hyper skilled. Found a good groove in the NHL, but he can find better. He's got a better ceiling than what he's doing now. There's something you don't see a lot in the game. McDavid on the bench. McDavid always has the momentum. That's why he's strong on his skates, Gary. That's the key. You got to find a time when McDavid isn't skating. Edmonton's got to be careful in the puck pinches, I think, in their own zone. That's going to expose them to the rush a lot. We're starting to get physical now, though, between both teams. Edmonton hasn't gotten a shot here in about 6 minutes. That just goes to show the team control and zone control that Colorado has here. Byram, one of the best young defensemen in the NHL, ends up stepping up. Him versus Bouchard is an interesting comparison here. Two just young, exciting defensemen. Byram is just incredible with the puck there on the half wall. The cycle for Colorado is going to start. The zone possession is going to start. What Colorado has to look out for here is if this puck turns over, Edmonton's gone. Yeah, the refs are letting them play. So far, I haven't seen anything dirty, though. That's funny. That's very funny. I don't know if anybody saw them just try to flip Kane's helmet off from the back. I love those little nuanced moves. I appreciate you too, Matt. I love the little nuanced moves when guys are just wieners like that. I think it's funny. The Corey Perry's, Brad Marchand, the helmet flip there. Hilarious. All right, and we're on to commercial now. Thanks to all 34 of you for being here. Further research, it's Brant Schatz. What's his background? Go ahead, refresh the game feed here. Take a look at the time on ice. Makar and Taze got a solid 4 minutes of ice time each. Not unsurprising. Let's see where McDavid's at. I bet it's 4 minutes. There you go. 3 minutes and 51 seconds for McDavid. 4 minutes and 25 seconds. Unsurprising. Franco, see, everyone's got a different idea. He's Czech, eh? France and O's from Cheerios. Franzo's. The DraftKings commercial with the goal Lamphorn. Wow, they got Dwayne Rollison on the screen and Dominic Hasek. Incredible. The oldest goalies here along with Mike Smith. I forgot about Dwayne Rollison. Gary knows all about Dwayne Rollison if he's a Bolts fan. You gotta, right, Gary? He's simple little chip over here to Bouchard. The Oilers should be gone. Colorado's doing a really good job of clogging up the neutral zone at the red line to not allow the Oilers to get any speed. So Bednar has done his research. Good breakout pass there by Manson. Edmonton ends up turning it over, but just enough that they just can't get smoothly out of the neutral zone here. Massive hit there by Manson. That'll wake you up in the morning. Clean as clean could be. And even though he popped up, let me tell you, those hurt. Third line for Edmonton, the Fogle-McLeod line. Still haven't gotten a shot, though. I think this is a bad mismatch here for Colorado. When they end up getting out there against the Fogle line, the Compher line is just so much better. McKinnon and Landeskog line ends up going out. They're trying to catch the Fogle line sleeping here. Draisaitl ends up out on the ice, though. He's going to wait for everybody to change. Draisaitl gives it away. Lucky that didn't cost him anything. Hey, Riley, what's going on? Oh, thanks, Riley. I appreciate it. We try to do cool things here. You have no idea how hard it is to talk to yourself, technically. No two-way dialogue. It's weird. But I love having you all here. This has been the most fun playoff run I've ever done on YouTube. Out of the two I've done. Still relatively new. I think the channel is now 15 months old. I think we're doing pretty good considering we're a hockey channel. Big hit there by Edmonton. They end up moving it through. You got numbers for Colorado. This should be a goal. Huge save by Smith there, stopping that second rebound. I definitely thought that rebound was going to be going in. Hey, Joe. Joe, I miss home whites. I always think white should be home. Huge hit by Manson there on Fogle and just dumps him. Nasty. I think Nurse is doing a little too much running around to be physical here. Kadri is so skilled too, quietly skilled. Rantanen unable to put that in. He could be a huge X factor here for the Avalanche. If Mikko can show up and start scoring like he can, that'll be huge. Sounds derogatory to one of the best wingers in the league, but I think he can do better than he has been. We got the Nugent-Hopkins line out there right now. Nuge, Kane, Yamamoto. Unfortunately, a bad hinge pass. If you ever want to know what a hinge pass is, just a D-to-D pass. Hinge it to your partner. I don't know when that started getting called that way. It just is. Andrew Cogliano, former Oiler, busting into the net. No danger there for Smith. Puck turned over at the blue line. This could end up being in the back of the net now. If you're Edmonton, you don't want to be giving up the puck to the Colorado defense. That's where they're going to generate a lot of their offense from. Giving the puck up to the defense, I mean, that's what Colorado's trying to do. A lot of offense generated from their back end. Very good back end. Yamamoto's got to get out of the zone with this. He does. Line 2 is going to need a change. I think at the end of the day, now that we've watched this game 15 minutes in, for now, even though the Kane line scored, it really does feel like so far only the first line can punch with the Avs. That should be a penalty. It's not. They're going to call it incidental contact. In the playoffs, sometimes you got to be the guy that cheats just a little bit better than everybody else. People hate when I use that word, but that's true. Bending the rules, veteran presence is what they call it. Nice play by Newhook, though. Puck goes down here. Newhook back on it. Fast player. Good skater, too. This is going to be a goal. Huge save by Smith. Look, I cannot believe that Colorado should be up 3-1 right now. Mike Smith has saved 2 that he shouldn't have saved. So Smitty's getting hot. Gary, I don't know what my clock's at yet. It is commercial time. Hey, Logan, how you doing? Corey, what's going on? Jacob Trouba's all he's got to say. The true train. Trudes, thanks for appreciating the content. I appreciate it. I try to make it funny. Hockey's too people who talk about hockey take this way too serious. And then like when they go neutral, they try to go way too neutral. You can be neutral and still be funny. There's a whole culture to hockey that people forget to talk about, and they don't talk that way. It's like they've never played a game in their life, and I don't know. I just don't think people want to hear that. That's my guess. Channel growth is telling me I think I'm on to something here. Brandon, I agree. I think McDavid's been held to pretty neutral here. Logan, my team's the Winnipeg Jets. From Winnipeg, born in Winnipeg, cheer for the Jets. Before the Jets came back to Winnipeg, because I was alive when they left, I was 8, cried like everybody else. Horrible experience. You never want to lose your NHL team. Horrible. Don't ever wish that upon anybody. It's no fun. Absolutely ridiculous. But when they left for the 20 years they were gone, or 25, I was a Penguins fan. Had a little bit of love for the Capitals when they had the Screaming Eagle jersey. I thought that was cool. Damn it, Bobby, I'd agree. It's a pretty dominant period by the Avs. Thanks, Logan. I appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for subbing. Joe is actually one of my first ever followers, if you can believe it. I think, Joe, you were in the top 100. Very close to it anyway. Double digits. Yeah, I'm happy to have the Jets back, Logan. We have a good owner here, at least, that's going to keep it here. I mean, half our ownership is the richest man in Canada, so that helps. I agree, Casey Max. Smith is standing on his head. At least 2-1. I think it could have been 3-1 if not for Smith. That cross ice pass, that little chip in from Kadri, could even be 4-1. That last rush could get there. Edmonton's just got to get out of their own zone. I think Edmonton's caught off a little on their heels that their stretch pass isn't working. And the other thing is that Colorado's not coughing up the puck in the offensive zone. That's not allowing Edmonton to leave with speed. This is going to be a goal. Goal. McKinnon. McKinnon gets behind him. You can see it coming a mile away. You're not going to stop him on a breakaway. So far, 2-1 Avs. Beautiful goal there by McKinnon. What you guys see on this breakaway and what I really appreciate about elite players, you see in shootouts players stop and make a million moves. Realistically, the best way to score on a goalie is speed. I know you're trying to keep it away, but just a little puck poke. And as McKinnon is going from left to right and crossing center ice, that's going to open up a 5-hole of a goalie all day, every day. There's nothing a goalie can do about it, so he just tucks it through. Smitty goes for the poke check. Is that the right play? I don't know. He's trying to stop him. What Smitty's trying to do here is stop him from crossing. It's a Hail Mary play. I don't hate the call from Smitty. Nurse is shaking his head because he just got burnt by one of the best in the NHL. That's the way it goes, Nurse. And I mean, when you're a $9.5 million guy like Nurse, you're going to expect to stop that guy. And frankly, I'm going to expect it too. I think Nurse is either 9 or 9.5. He's not less than 9. He has a massive contract. Edmonton doesn't have the horses on defense. Well, with the fact that Darnell Nurse is either playing injured or he's just playing bad, I don't know. Nothing's been confirmed on an injury, but he's supposed to be the guy playing back there like it, and he's just not. They're running three lines equal, 33% ice time for each pairing. That seems like a good idea, but you've heard me say it on the stream before. Like, you got to run your top 2 guys at 40% or greater. Makar and Taze on the back end that Colorado has still eat up 40 to 44% of the ice, and they should. Run your best guys. I think the argument about running your depth is, it's just ridiculous. Your depth is just, don't get scored on, get a rest, get your horses back out. Very smart play. Very, very smart play there by Bouchard. So I don't know if you guys noticed it, but that stick coming out, that's kind of purposely done. Young kid, but that's veteran presence. Let's see it here on the replay. I feel like Bouchard knew what he's doing. Yeah, see, he just squeezes his little left arm there. I don't know if you saw it, but he squeezes his elbow next to his body. Smart play. Sometimes you get a hooking call because it looks like the stick's caught up in you. Other times you take the stick away from him. Saves a goal. Brilliant play. It's like holding without getting a penalty. I love it. McDonald's logo looks like two knees. That's hilarious. Avs are really all over him in this game. McDavid's back, falls. No, Nugent Hopkins, I apologize. Other 90. Got the 90s wrong. Everybody loves it now. 93. Kulak turns the puck over high. This could, absolutely dominant, clinical period by the Avs here. Good save there by Smith. Smith kept him into it. Hey, so Lars, thanks for looking that up. We split it. Hey, Matt, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, Gary, Avs are playing their game. I mean, if the Avs are going to play this way, like, let's be honest, if the Avs can play this way every game, they're going to walk this real quick. Real quick. I'm watching on Sportsnet, cable. I'm an old guy. I have cable. And I only have cable because I don't like hunting for streams. Borderline embarrassing for Edmonton right now. Well, I mean, there's always lopsided games in series. I'll call it embarrassing if this happens 2 or 3 times in a row, then I agree. Like, a lot of people thought what happened to Florida was embarrassing, but I think Florida threw everything they could and the kitchen sink at the Tampa Bay Lightning. They just got goalied and beat by a better team. Right now, Edmonton doesn't even have a fight in them. There's not a redeeming quality about how Edmonton's playing other than Mike Smith making 4 or 5 huge saves. And then they take an offside. The Edmonton Oilers goal horn sucks. Well, the shots on goal disparity, I think, is indicative about the zone control that Colorado can maintain. Calgary was able to maintain similar zone control, but when they coughed the puck up, they didn't know how to handle the transition game of the Oilers that put it in the back of the net. Joe Sakic desperately wants to bring a cup here. He's built a near perfect team at this point. Guy he played against for quite some time, Stevie Yzerman, has built quite the juggernaut in Tampa Bay, although he's never going to get credit for it via owning the Stanley Cup. He went home to Detroit. Gary's got the stats, 49-24 for the Bolts there. Thornton, oh yeah, Nurse is not having a good series at all. Last year, I actually think Nurse had such a good year. He was so strong that I had him in the top 4 on Team Canada. This year, he wouldn't make it. Hey, Santana. How's the Jays game going, Matt? What are we at? Av scouting is incredible. Ooh, we're going to put that one to the test. After this period, remind me. Here, let me pull it up here. Hockey. Keith ends up sending it towards the net. Edmonton's got a score here on Kemper. Kemper, a huge save, laying down, makes both of them, kicks the puck out properly. Gotta love that. Almost turned the puck over in the middle of the zone to the Colorado Avalanche, but Edmonton's back in the offensive zone on a 1-2-2 forecheck now. What makes Calgary, Colorado different from Calgary here is they're not trying to make short passes in the neutral zone. All they're doing when they get in the neutral zone is tipping it and moving through. They're not allowing the Edmonton forecheck to be able to turn over pucks in the neutral zone. That's huge for them. Very, very smart play by the Avs. Stevie should get full credit. What's up, studio? No Rangers stream tonight, studios. We went to the West. I'm interested to see, Trudes, if Tampa scouting continues without Stevie Yzerman. The fun thing about scouts, guys, is there's usually about 20 scouts in the room when you're talking, plus the GM. And really, it is capital P politics when it comes to scouting. Which scout has the power in the room? Who's going to have the ear of the GM? And how do you get 20 people with egos to agree on who the pick's going to be? Because everyone wants their guy, right? Everyone who scouts an area. You either scout the Canadian Hockey League, the US, different leagues in Europe. And every league is ranked differently in terms of producing players. So sometimes it isn't the best player being picked, but it's strength of league or strength of competition, as they call it. That's why Makar fell to pick 4. Makar should have obviously been 1. He got docked for being an AJ guy. Yeah, no penalties this period. Jays are threatening down 3-2, bottom of 5. I like it. Yeah, bringing in Gaudreau, Coleman, Paul. Their scouting is excellent in that sense. Vladdy Guerrero Jr. Edmonton wins this draw. They can go into this period 2-2. They got to win it clean. They lose it clean. Colorado ends up taking it. Edmonton's all over that puck. Stepping up to it on defense here. Puts the puck deep into the corner. McDavid behind the net. Dangerous at all points in time with that puck. Moves it up top. I think McDavid was expecting to get that puck back. A little frustrated it was dumped in. I'm sure of it. Stretch pass over to 97. Why wouldn't you? Draisaitl up at the corner. Stick handles it through. Now you've got a cycle going on. McDavid up top. It's going to let it go down low. Goal. Guys, I hate to say it, but I feel like sometimes I get this game. Edmonton's just got a score going in down a minute. Just when we thought McDavid was neutralized, he ends up making Brett Kulak a hero. This is what I was saying on my preview, though, team. Oiler fans don't love me saying it because everybody wants to celebrate team, but the reality is no McDavid, no goals. He makes everybody around him amazing. You're not going to do this with any other player. Look at this zone control by him. One man can literally break an entire D zone. A singular player with his speed breaks a D zone. Hyman doing his best, most favorite thing, standing in front, banging it in. That's what he's paid to do. See, Brandon, I don't know if it's bad defense because it's just what McDavid does. He's just a freak that breaks open D zones. Turnover here for Colorado. Put it in. Boom! Mike Smith being Mike Smith, and who answers? Cale Makar. Beauty goal there by the kid. Didn't see that one coming. Lose a draw, turn it over, and that's elite talent putting it back in. Anything you can do, 97-8 can do as well. Turnover by Nurse. Yuck. Woof. Woof. What a shot, too. Bardowski's. Bingo. Nothing Smith is going to do about that, guys. Nothing. Perfect shot. They're challenging offside, though. Guess we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, Matt, I agree. That was a phenomenal answer. You got Connor McDavid. Watch, we got Cale Makar. Let's see. Oh, that's offside. No goal. No goal. What a break. Get lucky, go into the period. Confidence builder for the young man there, though. You know, Brandon, I agree. McDavid, there's no reason for two of those Avs to follow, but when I'm coaching defense with players, the hardest thing to get them to understand is to hold their position and to not get caught running around and at all levels. And you just seen it in the pros. When you're playing against a player like that, you can forget and you lose your way quick. And as soon as you lose your way, that's the whole point of the offensive zone cycle. is to get players to lose their way. As soon as you lose your way, he puts it back in the net. And what makes McDavid so insane in the offensive zone is really simple. He brings players and attention towards him, and as soon as all the attention's on him, he passes it. It's a very Wayne Gretzky way to play. Control the puck, pass the puck. That's why Draisaitl's the finisher with the goals. I don't know, Michael, if it's not a good night for Smith. I don't think the first goal was soft, and I don't think the second goal was soft, and I thought that shot by Makar was incredible. I'm the first one to tell you when Smith is having a bad night. I'll rag on a goalie all day. That's for sure getting called back, though. They're looking at it long and hard. Let's see here. Call's coming in for me now. Somehow this play is onside. I have no idea. So if anyone wants to think NHL is fixed, that's what that is. I don't understand that in the least. That's going to be the most controversial goal of the playoffs. There's nothing onside about this play. That's the worst call I've ever seen. That is the single worst call in hockey I have ever seen, and not even being a homer. Like, that is a justification, in my opinion, to fire all referees, put a chip in the puck, and allow technology to do the job. That's embarrassing. I mean, you had a camera to look at that. And they're going to get penalized for this. Hilarious. If you're an Avs fan, that's hilarious. I'm not the first guy to complain about refs, but that's embarrassing. If there was no video replay, I wouldn't be on them at all. Live calls can happen, but that's hilarious. Moving on. You got to outscore them now. Nothing else you can do. Kill the penalty. That is, wow, that's the worst call I've ever seen in my life. Oh yeah, Gary's saying, where's Gannon? He's in our Discord. Guys, if you haven't been in our Discord, it's actually in the comments of this. Go ahead and join it. How can Toronto not call that offside? I think, isn't it the referees who are calling it? They had the iPad out there. Yeah, well, everybody's going to say really. Everybody got that call right except for the referee. No, there's nothing to understand, guys. This is a terrible call. Absolutely terrible. I don't know what he's seeing. I don't think there's anything to understand. This is someone failing at their job. That's all this is. This is a job fail. So Ranty Fat, hey, what's up, my German friend? I don't think the stick counts, Brandon. I think your feet have to tag up. Lars, I love BX. Matt, oh, total call suckage. Joe, what did you retract? Did you just call me a loser or something? Kidding. Matthew James. The reviews are due to Duchesne's offside. Yes, it is. Duchesne's blue line. Yeah, guys, our Discord isn't just a bunch of mods hanging out. I'm in there too. Hey, Chemo man. Yeah, the stick doesn't matter. All right, let's take a look here. We talked about Colorado's drafting. See if we can find it here. I don't know if you folks ever come. Quant Hockey, Hockey DB, two of the best sites going. All right, 2021. No players playing. Not a big deal. New draft. Justin Barron gets 7 games in 2020. Hard to determine. 2019, Boehm Byram, obviously a good draft pick. Round 1, number 4. You should hit on that. If you can't hit on that, that's a fail. Newhook, 77 games. Round 1, pick 16. Absolutely. Nobody in from round 2, 3, or 4. That's fine. They take 2 or 3 years to go. 2018 is where we should start seeing production, regular lineups. Don't see anybody here that I would write home about. It's picks like this, like in 2018, this is where you're going to make your money. Found money is in like late picks like that. 2017, Cale Makar, Connor Timmins. 2016 is Jost. 2015, it's all right. So I'm basically going to say, like, I don't think Colorado's done anything special in the draft. Hot take. I'm sorry, Avs fans. Like, normal draft. Not bad, not good. Everybody should hit on first round picks for the most part. 70% first round hit. Avs paying the refs, and he says, yeah, I don't know what else it could be. Didn't touch the puck until Val was back. I don't know what it's going to be. We'll have to wait and see when the panel comes on here. I'm going to turn up my volume a little bit. Let me know if you guys pick it up. Yeah, I don't think it's coming through my mic, so that's good. It's always quite the setup trying to see whatever background noise your mic's going to pick up. But if you can hear my TV through the mic, let me know. I'll turn it down. Yeah, Prismatic, I don't know what they're looking at here. I mean, I'm going to have to get a better breakdown by somebody that understands the offside rule better than all of us, apparently. That was crazy. Yeah, Gary, let's look up the Tampa draft because it is something special. Hey, what's going on, DC? Thanks for the sub. If you guys haven't subbed, please. Would appreciate it. Boom, Bolts. Draft. So nothing is unreasonable about a 2021 or 2020 draft picks not playing yet, especially in the second round. Okay, well, okay, so Elliot Friedman here in Canada is saying, first off, it is the linesmen using the iPad that make the final call. It's not Toronto. Unbelievable. All right, so here's the breakdown. Makar pushes the puck into the zone and is offside, but doesn't have control of the puck until Nichushkin is out. So the linesman gets the discretion to decide when there is puck control in terms of the offside, and there you have it. Referee discretion. Whatever they want to do, whenever they want to do it, however they feel, against any team in the NHL. That's the way it goes. Even a clear rule like offside, they can screw up thanks to the term discretion. So they're saying that Nichushkin tagged up before Makar got control because that's ridiculous. So because of the push ahead and the few inches, they're going to call it. Now, what the funny thing about this is if there was no video review, that would have been called a goal. The fact that you can slow this down into video review allows you to see those nanoseconds of control and not control the puck. I can tell you as a hockey coach and a player, pushing the puck is control. That to me is full control. Stick handling or pushing the puck is the same. You don't have to be dangling it. It doesn't have to be touching your stick. But here we go. That is the answer. What's going on, Rob Kent? We were just discussing the offside. They were saying Makar didn't have control of it because the puck was an inch off his stick, and they're not counting that as control. Get those ads off the background there so I don't get yelled at. Yeah, Brandon, that's the most ridiculous explanation I've ever heard in my life. That's actually just downright embarrassing. And again, there's no real horse in the race here. Hey, Bob, thanks for subscribing. So they have confirmed there. Elliot said 2 video coaches have called him. This is the one good thing about Elliot Friedman. He is so dialed in to people in the NHL. I love the phone calls he can make. So he's got 2 NHL video coaches at home right now that ended up saying this is a good goal. They would have advised to not challenge it. So apparently what we are seeing is very, very different than from what the NHL professionals are seeing. That's 2 video coaches, according to Friedman, and obviously the referee's review. So at the end of the day, goal, baby. Kermit the Drunk, hilarious name. What's going on, Brandon Miracle? Kermit says, worst call ever, but I'm happy. Stoney says, rigged. Mr. Rob Kent, NHL only wants American teams to win. It's funny, American fans think that about the Canadian teams. I see that all the time. I'm in all the lovely chats, team chats about all their stuff. I see that all the time. I ended up getting out of those. I don't know if you guys are in any of those Facebook groups, but they just get too much. Too much. Yeah, Colorado gets power play and a goal. So, Matt, I don't, maybe we're pissing something, Matt says. So, apparently we're not missing anything. The rule is written to say you have to have control of the puck when going over the line. So, it's not as straightforward. And they're saying that because he pushes the puck, that's not control. But I don't agree with that. I think that's control. But if 2 NHL video coaches think that's control, then clearly amongst all that matters, which is the NHL players and coaches, they're aligned. We as fans don't need to be aligned. Does it grow the game? No. I think it frustrates people to have this happening all the time, but dude, I'm sorry. Like, we just talked all about it. I guess that's why it's not impossible. I don't like the call either. You didn't know you could push the puck for 10 feet. See, to me, pushing the puck, though, is control. Like, if he would have pushed it 10 feet in front of him, like you said, like a soft chip in, then yeah, I get it. But he didn't. All right, let's get back to this Tampa Bay draft. Gary, I told you I'd take a look at it. So, Gary, when did Stevie Y leave? When was he gone? Hey, DC, what's going on? So it's here you can see we know these are going to be the Stevie Y years. Connor Ingram, we know he's over on Nashville. Colton, 4th round pick, massive pick in the 4th round. Radish, Boris Kachuk, Canadian kid. Brett Howden. The King is coming. Avs in 5. So yeah, you can basically see then 2017 and down, the Yzerman years, they're incredible at drafting. I mean, Cirelli in the 3rd round, Joseph in the 4th. When you're getting NHL minutes out of anyone round 3 to round 4, you got a 15 to 20% chance max to get NHL minutes. Tony DeAngelo, we obviously know how damn good that worked out. Whether you like the personality or not, Braden Point, home run pick. I mean, this is Yzerman's best work, is all the 3 and 4 round picks he hits. All the homies hate Colton. If you know, you know. Hey, GZ Blues. What's going on? Thanks for dropping by. Step down in 2017. My Florida life. Yo. Yeah, Diz says puck on your stick is somehow not control. Yeah, I guess if the puck's an inch off your stick, it's not control. But here's the funny thing. When you're stick handling, it's not a lacrosse stick. The puck's off your stick all the time. Interesting interpretation. This reminds me of the NFL rules, like a football move when making a catch. Point is a freaking house. Point is amazing. Gary Amad. Gary has been shelling out picks, or Breezeball has been shelling out picks. He should. I think teams that end up just drafting, if you're only just drafting and you're not using those picks to turn into currency, you're not doing a good job as a GM. You want to turn one asset into 2 or 3, especially when it comes to picks. And if you can turn picks into known NHL quantities like Brandon Hagel, that's worth it. Absolutely worth it. Cooch 58 overall. I always love flipping through drafts. End up reminding myself who ends up falling, who didn't. Find your team. I mean, Tampa Bay down here, for instance, 2016, when they took Brett Howden, could they have hit anybody better? Sam Steele, not much better. Like, there's no one really here. I'd say, yeah, you nailed it. Jordan Kyrou is probably the best player here. Basically behind... I'd probably basically take Kyrou. Yeah, after Chychrun. Kyrou's a nice steal here in round 2. Huge steal, actually. DePringet, obviously an amazing steal in the second round. Bastien's not bad. Boris Kachuk, Girard, massive pick here. Massive defensive pick right there. Huge. 47th. Carter Hart, all right. Dubé's coming into his own. Adam Fox, clearly the steal of this draft. Round 3, unbelievable. 2016. You can see here, though, as we go down, it gets short. Victor Mete, nice pick in round 4. There's Ross Colton, absolute steal as well. You get into round 5, it's just a graveyard. Round 6, near graveyard. Jesper Bratt, nice steal there in 6. It's funny, though, but hot take team, I wouldn't be against just deleting the draft from round 3 on. Draft the first 2 rounds. Let everybody sign as a free agent. What do you guys think about that? Would you feel comfortable doing that? I'd feel just fine, and I'm from a small market. Pyro says, is that ridiculously offside? Look, I think we all agree it was, but the way the NHL rules are written and the way they explained it over there, they said he didn't have control, and by the rules, that's correct. So they were saying on the Canadian broadcast, two fans ended up saying, two video coaches ended up saying that that's a good call. So whatever. You have a favorite non-elite Avs player? Well, I don't know. Is Byram Bowen? Is he too elite for you? If I had to pick far down the list, probably Obey Kubel. Arizona as well, there will die. Matt, I'm a Cowboys fan too. Brutal. Tough being a Cowboys fan. Matthew says he works for an NFL team and he says it's mind-boggling to decipher. I don't think hockey's any better. Hockey's easier to decipher the rules because they say one clear word, referee's discretion. So they're basically just saying whatever the ref says, we're going to back up. Over under on games before Trouba knocks out Stammer. Cooch. Funny. Very, very funny. Betman Hockey is back, boys. The 21 ABC. The Flyers have been complete trash. Well, yeah, I mean, that's why you're not a good, that's why they're not a good team right now. You miss on your picks, you're not going to be good. Let's check them out. I love checking out teams' picks here. York, all right. All right. Joel Farabee. Okay. 2017, they take Nolan Patrick. I bet they wish they could have had a redo there. Nothing great there. Nothing great. This is a lot of missed first-round picks. German Rupsov, miss. Nolan Patrick, miss. Farabee. I mean, 93 points, pretty good. Not going to say a full miss. Cam York, the defenseman, could be a hit. Carter Hart, round 2. Ivan Provorov, I'd say that's a hit. I mean, it's 7th overall, though. Yeah, the Nolan Patrick pick, that was tough. I made a good video on that because what's his name? Ron Hextall was not Ron Hextall. Who's his boss? I'm losing my mind. He played for the Flyers. Why can't I think of it? It's not Reggie Leach, it's another guy. Bob Clark. Bob Clark is Hextall's boss. Apparently all the scouts, everybody in the room wanted Cale Makar and not Nolan Patrick. And he said no, he locked himself in a room and said, I'm taking Patrick. He didn't listen to any of his scouts. And there you go. Matt says 4-round draft. I could deal with that. That's a split in the middle. They're not going to go from 7 to 2. But I do think they will get closer to the NBA at one point. Matt says, how am I allowed to be a Leafs and a Cowboys fan? Same way I'm a Jets and a Cowboys fan. We have the same amount of championships you do. How does the NHL ensure non-biased reffing? I don't think the NHL has biased refs. I think they have refs that view things differently. We all see things different. I don't know why. I've learned that with the YouTube channel, but what we think is the baseline of fair isn't what most people agree with. And by we, I mean what I think is what you guys won't agree with, and vice versa, back and forth. So it's the way it goes. So it's tough. I think the way you fix it, Jameson, is they have to call very clear rules and take out the words referee discretion and show them what it means. And that's it. Hold the standard. You shouldn't have a different standard referee to referee, in my opinion. You always have slightly different, but they give them too much leeway. What's going on, Nick? Nick, I didn't like the call, but I understand why they made the call that way now. At first, I was pretty much, that's the worst call I've ever seen. Now that it's been explained to me from the TV personalities and the other coaches, then all right, that's the rule. Again, it's just, to me, it just exposes another terrible rule in the rule book. Looking at highlights here, McKinnon just being McKinnon. Guy's a beast. Oh, Brandon, Nolan's from Winnipeg. I got to watch him play from 14 up. He was dominant all the way until age 17. It's concussions that got to him. He had 2 torn shoulders and 2 concussions before he ever got drafted into the NHL. He was absolutely as dominant as advertised, but head injuries and shoulder injuries will do that. No, Jameson, ask questions. That's why you're here. Keep it going. Keep it going. Gives me something to talk about. Age of Silver. Christoph Schumann, thanks for subbing. Well, apparently the way the rule's written, Age of Silver, they got the call right. I'm going to say now, if that's the way the rule's written, that I'm just going to say I don't like the way the rule's written again. So it's once again a failing by the NHL, in my opinion. I wonder if we can find the exact rule. NHL offside rule. Not the hockey offside rule. Don't see anything there. We'll come back to it. Don't forget it. We'll check the offside rule between the next period break. All right, let's get it up here. Wow, Woody's going to be pissed. They got an extra 3.5 minutes for their goalie to go into the net. That may seem logical, but in a playoff game, absolutely not. You got to drop that puck. They got a gift there. That's ridiculous. I agree with Woodcroft shaking his head there. You're not going to stop for any player. Put a different goalie in. Oh, well, moving on. 2 nice breaks there for the Avs. Can't complain. Just got to put goals in. What's going on, Jeff? I agree. The refs and the rules are always going to be a problem because it's a way to perceive the rules. That's exactly what I was saying earlier. I fully agree. Joe says the challenge comes back to bite them. I guess you're ahead of me. It's going to be a goal. Beautiful goal by Kadri. Easy rebound there. That is insult to injury. Wow. Honestly, team, as much as Colorado has dominated this, all of this is in control by a guy like Darnell Nurse or winning the draw. Call or no call. 2 goals have gone in because Edmonton couldn't win the draw. And then when they did end up winning it, or when they ended up getting puck possession back to Nurse, he coughs it up in the middle of the ice. And look who's on the ice here again, Nurse. Ay. Got to control what you can, and not doing it tonight. What's going on, Warrior Loft? 2 goals in 46 seconds. Oh, it will be controversial for quite some time. You know what the funny thing is about controversial calls? So if the Avs go on, let's say they sweep this or they win the series. Let's say they win it in 7. Oiler fans will talk about it till they're dead, and nobody else, literally nobody else will care after this. Once a call is missed or a terrible call is made, the only people that ever remember it are the ones from the fan base. After that, and it's only the diehards. People have a very short memory. They move on to next year once the next season starts. You guys agree? What's going on, Christian? Avs have taken advantage of the draws. I agree. Who do I think gets the Hart? See, this is what I hate about the Hart. We get to watch the playoffs before we know who gets it. I think it needs to be voted on before the playoffs ever start because it's a regular season award. So on one hand, I made a video about it. Matthews had the better season. Matthews should get the Hart based on season play. But now my head can't get out of the bias that McDavid led the league in points. And what he's done in the first 2 rounds, I'm just sitting here like that's the only name that's in my brain. I don't know if that happens to writers. So I think you got a 50-50 race. I think Gaudreau's out. I would be shocked if it was Gaudreau. Good season and stuff, but I don't know. I just feel like that bias is going to get in there. Edmonton playing with massive zone control. Looks like my internet has updated the goal before I'm there. I wonder how far behind I am. Way too far behind. Yes, I hit pause team when we were talking about the there, but I ended up catching up to the Fogle goal now. All right, so third lines are even now. The Fogle line is scored and the Comfer line is scored. So they're both even. That's good for both teams. Good for Edmonton because I think the Aube-Kubel-Compher line is much more competent than the Fogle line. Dem rebounds. What's interesting here is that, like, you just think about this right now. Think about the change in the game. All of this doesn't come back to a call. This comes back to Nurse's inability to just get it out. Cough it up. Bad play. That doesn't happen. You're up 3-2. Hey, Christian, thanks so much. What 3 teams do you think should have won the cup in the past 10 years? Best Stanley Cup winner in the past 10 years. Okay, now I got to think of the best 3 teams here. I think there has to be a San Jose team in there. You're going to make me really think back on this one. Let's take a look here. I have to get my memory here. Memory right. Makar goes out, gets knocked down. Avs have zone control here as I'm looking this up. Puck goes center ice. Big save there by Smitty. Huge Smitty save. Edmonton's leaving the zone. He ends up blowing a tire. You got a breakaway. It's Cassian. 4th line breakaway. I love it. Great move by Cassian. Really nice save there. Massive hit by Cassian again. Huge ice. I promise, Christian, I'll come back. Huge hit center ice. Puck ends up moving low. You got a 2-on-1. Big defense here by the Oilers. We got a game. Even all the dominance by the Avs. We got a game. McKinnon on the puck down low in the corner doing Nathan McKinnon things. Widens the zone off the bar. No, it's off the inside bar. It's in. McKinnon doing his best. McDavid, that's elite on elite there. Ooh. Nice apple. It's not always the President's Trophy winners, though, Jeff. It can't always be. So to answer your question, Christian, the best team in the last 10 years is the Bolts. This Bolts team, I actually would say your 2015 Hawks team, your Bolts team here, your Penguins team there with Crosby, the Red Wings in 09 and in 99, and the Avs have all, like, they could all compete for greatest teams. But in the last 10 years, it's the Bolts. I really liked this Bruins team. I forgot about this against the Blues. This was a very good Bruins team. Knights are one of the better teams to not win it. I have San Jose for sure as one of those teams. It can't not be San Jose. They were dominant for too long. You know what? I really liked New York with Henrik Lundqvist there. So that was a nice team. And I can't go back any further than 2011 based on the question. So I'm going to go Canucks. I'm going to say the Bruins. And I'm going to say the Sharks. Best three teams to not win a cup in the last 10 years. Is this the Calgary-Edmonton first game? No, this is just any game with Mike Smith in net, baby. High scoring, high flying. Got to outscore him. Kadri talking trash. Kadri ends up going hard into the net. He ends up eating post. McDavid says, do not touch my goalie, pal. Here's the thing with Kadri, guys. I know Avs fans get on me for this, but like he finds himself in front of goalies without stopping a little often. Kadri should probably stay away from goaltenders. Hey, Anthony P., what's going on? Anthony's new member to the coach's staff. Appreciate you logging in, buddy. Kemper will get a lot more shook letting in so many goals than Smith ever will. I agree there, Pyro. 5-3, holy moly. You got to love the West. West is entertaining. I don't know, Brandon, if they have to pull him at 6. Koskinen is not a good answer, and I don't think any of these goals have been bad. They've been snipes. I think Woodcroft might roll with him. McDavid gets physical there, rubs him out on the boards. Smitty's still playing the puck. That's a good sign for confidence. Kadri ends up taking a hit down low. Avs in on the offense now. They're going to get Edmonton running around. As soon as they get this zone wide and they're running around, I'm surprised that one ended up not going in. Puck's below the corner. Nichushkin's got the puck behind the net. Edmonton's trying to settle in. Smith pokes it to his own high slot. This should go in. You deserve to get scored if you do that. Terrible play. No goalie should do that. Don't poke it out. New Hook with that speed ended up behind the net. McDavid's been caught out there for some time here. This is going to waste the shift here for line 1 for Edmonton. Kane ends up taking it off the foot. Goal. Too long in the zone. I think Makar's got his second here. I don't know if it was tipped. Beauty goal. Beauty goal. And this is what you want to do at home. You have to do this at home. Koskinen's coming in, so it looks like Brandon's right. Big call there, Brandon. I thought they would have left him, but they're going to pull him. You were bang on. They're going to give it to JT. You got to love that Avs depth. Beautiful shot by Makar. Guy's a monster. Smith caught reaching for that puck. You're welcome, Christian. Thank you so much for the super thanks. Or the super chat. I appreciate it. 6-3 Eek. Hey, don't forget, Edmonton got lit up game 1 like this against Calgary. Came back. Lost still. Lots of series. Red Skull, you got it. It's all about possession. They said that Makar didn't have possession, so they didn't call it offside. Smith's used to getting pulled. It happens. It's his life. Puljujärvi with a nice hit down low. Puck ends up moving back to the defenseman. Cluster in front of the net. Block shot. That's going to be a penalty. Nope. Going to call it incidental. It's always interesting if you call an incidental trip or an incidental hook. But I guess they're going to say he got tied up. Good puck kept in here by Edmonton along the line. Fire him to Manson. Manson moves it up. Easy. Easy. Now Nazem Kadri on it. That's definitely a hold. That's going to be a penalty. Bye-bye. Into the box you go. Darnell Nurse is going to go into the box. Darnell Nurse had a terrible game. This is just atrocious by Nurse. Terry said, Terry, hey, how you doing, Terry? Thanks for joining. Is this really what people want to see? I don't know. Depends what you like in hockey. I think the casual fan wants to see craziness like this. Gets people fired up. Smith played great after getting pulled last time. Smith always bounces back. He's cool as a cucumber. Yeah, Red Skull, you're right. It is another Avs power play. Disaster for the Canadian team. Well, Prismatic, I mean, in all reality, the Avs are the better team. All up and down the lineup. You take McDavid out of the Oilers lineup, and it is what it is. Brandon's right. Edmonton's top heavy. They're going to play wide open. They're not going to play physical. You are bang on. Sam Hatfield, is that like Hatfield and McCoy's? It's from all the pickled juicy drinks. I agree. Smith could have maybe saved one of those. Nurse sucks this year for a $9 million defenseman, Robbie Kent. You are right. McDavid hasn't done much. McDavid's done what he can, but it's really tough to do something when the Avs keep the zone control like they do. You just got to keep the puck off his stick. Nat, what's going on? Nat's just upstairs. Roommate of mine. Really? You're related to like Hatfield and McCoy's. Like you're related. That's pretty cool. I love when you see somebody like Hatfield and McCoy's or Winchesters or Colts. Very cool. The Oilers don't have another way to play but wide open Prismatic. That's all they got. They're not going to move into a zone control team. They don't have the depth to do it. So the only thing they can do is get into a scoring battle. So I agree with what you're saying, but I don't think they have another trick in the bag. They're a one-trick team, and that trick is a very good trick. Scoring on the rush. Makar moving the puck up. Makar is playing just build as advertised. Beast. Absolute beast. Difference maker right now. McKinnon's been solid as well, too. Both have done what they needed to do. Now you got McKinnon with puck control here on that power play. McKinnon is so confident with the puck. This should be a goal. Great block there, though, by Keith. Edmonton Hyman is all alone against Makar. Look, Makar makes it look so easy. Hyman's no joke, and Makar just settles him down like he's not even a player. He makes $5.5 million. Zach Hyman look just like another guy, another plug. Like we said at the beginning of the stream, guys, this is how you build a legend is Cale Makar. He's good, but this is how you take it to absolute game-breaking level. I think I said it in the last series. I can't remember when I said it, but I've believed this for a minute, though. He could end up being the best defenseman since Coffey. That's saying a lot. He's got to pass guys like Ray Bourque. But Makar is on the way, and he's got the partner to do it in Devon Tays. That's going to help you. Papa Dids, the only way for this game to be fair, for Edmonton to have 6 players on the ice. I hear what you're saying. They should pull the goalie. It's about as good. The shooter tutors Edmonton has in nets. The West has been a battle of which goalie can suck less the entire way through. Nat says Edmonton wins 12-7. Oh, Makar is good defensively. The old story about Makar not being good defensively is so 2 years ago. I would say Makar is elite in all zones of the ice at this point in time now. If you want to call Makar a franchise player in the NHL or a top 3 player, feel free. There's nothing wrong. This should be in the net. Good save by Koskinen. Edmonton gets 6 skaters and a goalie. It's like a golf handicap. I don't know. Is Kemper not in? I missed that one. You're right. I should take a look at my screen. I wonder if Kemper had to poop, guys. Could be an equipment malfunction. Could be the bladder. You never know. I mean, he came out 3 minutes late, right? So something's going on with Kemper. Colorado's as cool as a cucumber, though. They're chill. McDavid could count as 2. No, Kemper just came back. Just came back, Papa Dids. Kane doing his best here. So they got Kane up there with Draisaitl now. They've taken Hyman off that line, obviously. Switching it up. What Jay Woodcroft loves to do. McDavid, one-man show, gotta be in. Unbelievable, he's unable to score there. Really nice job by Colorado, keeping that one out of the net. McDavid's still on it. Draisaitl with the puck in the corner. And McKinnon's going to easily leave the zone here now. Able to calm down a 2-chance time by McDavid. Unbelievable. You're going to see Draisaitl and McDavid get heavy minutes here. When Woodcroft gets down or gets in trouble, he really likes to rely on the top horses. Gary says equipment issue or equipment issue. I agree. Something with Kemper. Oh, broken stick at an absolutely inopportune time. Duncan Keith keeps it in. Go to the bench, get a stick. Unbelievable that wasn't a turnover. Shocked, actually. Hyman ends up stepping on a penny. He's down. Duncan Keith, new stick and all. Makes that breakout pass beautifully. Vogel taken down. And now we got everybody's favorite, Nazem Kadri with the puck. Nice move at the blue line. Wholesaled from behind. McLeod's going to carry that zone, end up dumping it in deep. 7:45 left on my clock. Colorado easily exits the zone, no problem. Wow. Wow, that almost went in. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. You're a Kings fan and you don't want to join the Avs bandwagon party. Oh, the Avs are nice to watch. They're an enjoyable team to watch play hockey. Top to bottom, enjoyable. If you got to tell someone, hey, what do you want to watch? Like a non-hockey fan, you got to pick a team to tell them to watch for the first time. The Avs are a good pick. Rude, I'm going to try to make down a breakdown video. It's not going to be similar to what I did with Edmonton and Colorado because I had 3 extra days to do that. And I had a long weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So I do have quite the day job. I have about 100, 120, 150 employees that report to me during the day in a really good government role. So a lot of work Absolutely a lot of work going on in the day job there. It's this started off as a hobby, but you're all making me grow so fast that I think I've pumped out 80 videos now over the playoffs. So I will definitely do my best, but as a one-man show, I never make a promise. Seven minutes left here in the second, actually 6:42 to be specific. Kadri line is out there. Smith or Koskinen playing the puck. Not as smooth as Smith, that's for sure. This could be in the back of the net. Kadri gets dumped in front. You got to admit, Kadri's a tough character in front of that net. He takes a beating, keeps going. Turnover again. Kadri getting towards the net, doing damage. Career year for Kadri. I think a lot of Canadian hockey fans kind of figured if Nazem Kadri could just focus on his game like he did in the World Juniors, this is the Kadri we were all waiting for. Leafs fans can say that. Chupa Thingy, what's going on? Chupa Thingy says, on call this week. I'm already at 38 hours between yesterday and today. Dragging ass, but go Avs, go. So if you're on call, are you working in the labor industry or the healthcare industry? I feel like on call is healthcare or some type of emergency services. Kadri is a bit of a rat. There's no question about it. It's not even a bit of one. I mean, he's the most suspended guy actively in the NHL right now. Oh, Nurse is junk tonight, Age of Silver. Just junk. He knows it too. Joe says that's the Kadri he was waiting for. Leafs fans will tell you this. Everyone was behind Kadri. They could see the talent. Just spent a lot of time. HVAC. So you're both in the trades and in emergencies. So yeah, if it's HVAC season for you, Chupa, where are you at? Is this air conditioning season for you right now? I don't know where Kadri's going to go next year. Let's take a look here, Anthony. I can't even remember what his cap hit is right now. Do. There we go. Couldn't find it for a minute. What are you getting paid, Mr. Kadri? Can't even see it. Click into his name. Can you guys believe $4.5 million? Like, all of this money that Kadri's getting paid would have been so much higher if he just focused on scoring like he did this year. So I think, to answer your question, Anthony, I think Kadri's going to go get a big bag of money at 31 years old, and he should. Career year. I think he's going to likely rather sign a long-term deal. I think he'll try to get 7 years if he can, get himself into his late 30s, or at least a 6. If he can, that's the question. If not, then he's going to take a big amount of money for 2 years, but I don't see any bridge deal coming for 31-year-olds. He's going to settle somewhere, in my opinion. I could see him getting anywhere between the $7 and $8 million range. Dominant year by him this year. Drove a line, centerman by himself, wasn't playing with any, unlike Draisaitl, who can get paired with McDavid from time to time. He wasn't playing with anyone like that. He drove his own line. TNT keeps showing Gretzky. Chupa says it was 92 today, Eastern. Okay, so it is air conditioning season. Tom Wilson is, would we call Wilson a rat or would we call him a thug? Like, rat tendencies are kind of cheap tendencies, and I feel like Wilson just goons guys. I'm not saying he goons them well. What he did against New York in that series with Buchnevich and Panarin was awful. NHL didn't care, though. Yeah, it'll be interesting what team ends up with him, Anthony. Like, I don't know at this point in his career if Kadri wants to go to a rebuilder like Buffalo. I know they're on the up, but they're still Buffalo. Until they get a reputation for winning, it's going to be tough. Jersey seems like a good place, but Jersey's sitting there with Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier. Like, is Kadri willing to convert to the wing or take a third line role? I don't know. I like the thought, though. We're going to have to think about this Kadri thing. I actually think there's a great opportunity for him to re-sign in Colorado. McKinnon already said he'd take less money. I'm really interested to see what McKinnon wants to take on his next deal. Wilson is worse than Bertuzzi? Ooh. Is anyone worse than Bertuzzi? I mean, when you have an acronym called you Bertuzzi'd somebody, I think you're the worst. Kadri goes to Tampa. Do you have the cap space to take a $7 million player? You definitely get a discount for going to Tampa thanks to the taxes, so you can pay him a little less. Kadri would fit well in Edmonton. Be interesting to see what Edmonton does with Kane as well, too. I mean, we got to remember, Kane's coming off a $7 million AAV. The only reason he's not getting the bag is because, well, his off-ice behavior. Even his on-ice at sometimes. It'll be interesting to see what kind of contract Kane gets this year after this run. He's clearly done enough to say, not only am I still really good, but I can be a productive teammate. So someone's going to pay Kane. Kadri and Perry. See, Perry is a rat. That's like, Perry's an agitator. I don't see Perry as like a cheap shot artist. I see Perry as just, he absolutely lives rent-free in your head without elbowing you in the teeth every 2 shifts. We got to get over losing Palat first. Like, Chupa, I think you're right. I think Joe might figure out a way to get him to stay. I think he's such a good fit in Colorado. It's the interesting thing. Y'all, we're going to think of it differently, right? Like, 31 years old, do you want to get the bag of money? He's never been paid the bag of money. Or do you want to be on the team that you can win with money? Hey, Joe, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. There's a couple Leafs fans in here still, Joe. Couple Leafs fans. Perron, Kane, Kadri, Marchand, all the same type of player for me. That's fair. I can't argue that at all. Everyone's going to have their favorites and their hated out of those. Not happening. Palat walks. It'll be interesting to see where Palat goes. Talented player. What do you guys think he's worth? What do you pay Palat? Joe and Joe, the 2 Leafs fans. Hagel is locked down. They're not going to let Hagel go anywhere, John. Even though he's got the 2 years left, you don't pay 2 first-round draft picks for a rental. That's the future right there. I think when you got a guy like Ross Colton, if you can re-sign Nick Paul, if you can have Hagel, that whole third line, you lock him in. I love that. Tampa's future is still locked in. Sergachev's got to figure it out a bit, though. Hey, Ryan. Tampa lifer could take the same money he's making now. Yeah, you never know. Like, I don't think Stamkos, Kuch, Hedman, they got a lot of miles on them, but they're not going anywhere. The question is, can Tampa Bay retool without coming the Chicago Blackhawks? They paid all their veterans. They rewarded them for 3 cups, and they're paying for it now, really. So can Tampa Bay retool? Colorado in all alone here. Goal. Easy goal. Koskinen out in the back. They end up putting it in. That looked like something out of the Mighty Ducks and Team Iceland putting it in the back of the net there. No problemo. Nurse on the bench has an absolutely miserable face, as he should. Edmonton getting shellacked. Andrew Cogliano. Boom. Duncan Keith gets just caught. That is not what you want to do as a defenseman. Terrible pivot. Skate backwards. Just gives up on the play. Brutal. Nice play by O'Connor here. Just beautiful look off. Sends that pass through. Run over Koskinen. The Keystone Cops routine. Bouchard doesn't even see his own goalie. I don't think Edmonton's got anything to worry about, though. This happened again, like I said, against Calgary, but they'll have something to worry about if this happens twice in a row. I was definitely feeling very good about my Calgary pick after game 1. I feel less good about it now because obviously McDavid did damage in that game one. He's been all but quiet here. Kemper not back in the net. Kemper's doubtful to return. Stamkos, Gary, really got hammered by injuries there. Healthy Stamkos is absolutely a top NHL player even still. No, the team isn't that old, Jordan. You're right. A lot of 27-year-olds on that team. Vasilevsky's still got 6-7 years left to prime. Goalies can be good till 35. Avs covered the over by themselves. Yeah, you knew this was going to be the over. The over was 7, 6.5, I believe. Kemper out with a lower body injury. Oilers need to get Oilering. Love it. Oh, Colorado's a pretty good team. Compared to Calgary, pretty good team. Calgary felt like a really good team that was patchwork together through trades and a whole bunch of other stuff. Never felt like they really gelled. They gelled under Sutter. Oh boy, Makar takes one off the ankle in the soft spot. He'll be okay, but that's going to hurt. 3-on-1 the wrong way. Draisaitl, goal. Draisaitl to McDavid, of course. Chupa says, what happened to Darcy? It just says he's doubtful to return. They didn't give us any indications. So listening to the announcers here, they said Kemper's doubtful. We don't know why. Between the first and the second, he took an extra 3 minutes to get out of the tunnel. He couldn't do it. They delayed the start of the game for him, which was mind-blowing. I'm going to Google it here quick, see if I can find anything on the Twitter machine for you guys. Thanks for subbing, Chupa. I really appreciate it. Darcy. Kemper. What are you doing? Oilers going to the power play, everybody. Ooh. They going to make a game of it? This Oiler power play. Let's go to the Twitter machine here. Let's see if we can search Mr. Darcy. Kemper. Colorado Avalanche just say he left the game, doubtful to return. Elliot Friedman, our guy. Friedman here. I wasn't a Friedman fan before a team, but I've become a real Elliot Friedman fan. He's really won me over. Don't see anything in the comments here for him. All we're seeing is Darcy Kemper left the game. Oh, Peter Bauer says appears hurt. Well, if I get any more on it, I will definitely let the team know here as the tweets come in. Edmonton power play right now. They're actually going with an overload right now, which is unique. They're not going 1-3-1. They end up moving it back to the top. They're going to switch back into their 1-3-1 now. Very unique look here. You don't see this all the time. Edmonton's going to take their time. They don't want to needlessly shoot here. Work it down low to the Nuge. Tyson Barrie, their power play quarterback out here. Now they're into the 1-3-1. Boom! Oh, I can't believe that was saved. Draisaitl moving it right into Hyman. Hyman's unable to score. Nuge still with the puck down to Dry. Dry forces it. Easy clear by Colorado. You can't force that. Joe says no goaltending, only vibes. No defense, Warrior. Warrior, you're in our Discord chat, right? Just confirm with me if you're. I'm pretty sure you are. I see you in chat like comments all the time. Goaltending doesn't matter anymore. Just pull the goalie. McDavid doing McDavid things. Goal. Unbelievable. Hopkins can't dial in the sniper scope there. Misses wide. McDavid still has the puck on his stick. One-man show. Gets held. Is this an offensive hold? Hard to tell. McDavid just skates through it. Powers his way through. 18 seconds left. Unbelievable job by McDavid here to get them back in and set up. Hyman on the puck. McDavid behind the net. They're going to push all day here. They're going to go all gas. Widen the zone. Up to the top. Big boom. Saved by the goalie's name I can't pronounce. Francois. Francois. There it is. Francois. According to the announcer, anyway. Like Ranta in Carolina. Yeah, here's the thing about backup goalies. Backup goalies are good for a short period of time. They're hard to figure out. They're good goalies, of course. They're in the NHL. But as you start to get a read on them as an offensive player, the dam opens. I think that's what happened to Antti Ranta in the New York series. Eventually, they got a read on him by kind of, I want to say game 5. They had a good read on him. Waiting to get out of the box here. I love the Super Mario level up of Denver. It's the best. Denver's also got a bar downtown. I can't believe that didn't go in. That's got to go in. How does that not go in the net? Someone's going to the box here. Someone's getting a penalty. He's pointing at 1. Ref's pointing at 1. That's trouble. I have no idea, Joe, how that stayed out. Any Denver people here? Any people here that live in Denver? I can't believe that. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. That's that backup goalie luck. Look, he has no idea what the puck is. He overskates and he moves it. Oh, he makes the stretch. Love it. Really nice recovery there by Franco. Francois? Is that it? Chupa? Francois with the S at the end? Dan the Man says he visits all the time. My favorite bar ever in Denver was a place called One Up. They had all, like, I swear, at least 200-300 retro arcade machines. Everything only costs $0.25, and they had craft beer on tap. Unbelievable. Adult playground, basically, in the best way. Why are they screening their own tenny? Danny, is One Up, is that bar One Up still in Denver, downtown? Jeremy, let me know that too. 2 Denveronians. I know it's not Denveronian. I love making up words. Kemper's back in, everybody. Danny says One Up is great. I'm so happy it's still there. What a great time. Kermit the Drunk's 30 minutes from Denver. When you say you moved to the NC, is that North Carolina? Being Canadian, I always got to check. Denver trips used to be very affordable. I love going to Denver for sports. Not a huge skier. Don't know if anybody else is here. Not a huge skier. Frontier went bankrupt. They used to do a lot of flights. We really only have 2 airlines here in Canada. Let's go, Kemper. Prove your worth, Warrior says. Joe says he had to take a crap. See, that's what I said. I was like, they're saying injured, but I thought he had to poop. Airlines go bankrupt all the time. Terrible business. Not what you want to be in. Not a moneymaker. Not unless you're consolidated like Delta with 10 billion planes. I live behind an ocean? That's amazing. I wish I had ocean anywhere near me. I love the ocean. Jeremy says he thinks One Up is. Thank you. We were able to confirm One Up is still open. Because of some ads of hockey on NHL.com, you watch, they'll take off my stream because that's what YouTube does. He pulled a Lamar Jackson. For sure, Lamar had to poop. They said Lamar didn't, and that's incorrect. There's no way. Comes back and wins the game. What a great moment in NFL history. Gary says that's the worst feeling as a goalie. I know. A lot of Stars fans saying Heiskanen is a potential to be Makar-like. Heiskanen is incredible. Incredible. Unbelievable defenseman. Do I think he's of the same level as Makar? No, I do not. But I think he's very freaking good. There's very few defensemen I hold in the regard of Cale Makar, Roman Josi, Victor Hedman, because they've done it. And they continue to do it. But Makar can surpass them all. Heiskanen, though, is an amazing defenseman. What a wonderful skater. Brilliant thinker of the game. Trey says, you dangle me? Probably. I was never a skill guy, Trey. Let's just say that. I played at a decent level, but I am not a skill guy. Stood up for the old teammates, clutch and grab, Pronger style. 90s hockey, if you will. I am not into F1. Even the Netflix series hasn't got me there, but I know why people are into F1. I understand it. Only 10 teams, exciting, race every 2 weeks, everything matters, love it. Fox is an elite defenseman too. So this is the way I look at defensemen, guys. If I had to pick my top two, it's Makar is number one. McAvoy is two. I love Charlie McAvoy. Underrated in the elites. I think Adam Fox is a very good defenseman, but mostly offense. He's got to work on his defensive game, but his offense makes up for a lot. Victor Hedman and Roman Josi are still top of the mountain right now. They're amazing. I think we're forgetting about them because they're getting older, but they have no reason to be taken out of the list. So if you want to have Fox or Makar or Josi or Hedman or McAvoy, and you want to tell me that that's the guy, I'm not going to fight you. I don't think Makar has separated himself enough yet to say he's the only guy. Oh, they're trying to explain the offsides. Let's hear this. So Ron McLean here in Canada is basically saying there's no whistle because him pushing the puck is considered a chip in and there's no whistle until he contacts the puck. Sure. Whatever. I am moving on with my life. I will talk about it in the recap. I think it's trash, but it's the way the rule is. And the NHL says, everybody is saying, the announcers, the NHL, the video refs, they're saying this is a correct call. So, okay, cool. Josi can't do it all himself. Do you think the Panthers bring back Burnett? I don't know. Ryan, I'm sorry. I don't see any reason the Panthers shouldn't be doing that. You think Taze could hit that category? No, I don't, Anthony. And the only reason I don't is I think Taze is a supporting character in the best possible way. Not that he wouldn't be a number one on many, if not 25 teams in the NHL. But there's just a tier of player, and Taze is an incredible player. Like, he is in the top 30 defensemen in the NHL. But I think when we're talking top 5, top 6, it's such a gap that it's like, how do I put this in another sport term? You got like Aaron Rodgers and Pat Mahomes, who are an elite quarterback. And then you end up with Derek Carr, who's a good quarterback. That's kind of how I see it. Except there's just so many more defensemen that you end up seeing Taze as elite. It's probably a terrible example because there's only 30 quarterbacks, but that's the thing I could think of right now. Joe's saying even Josi has shown he can't do them all himself. Yeah, and see, that's the thing. I think Makar is a game changer. I think a single man alone like Makar can go to any team and change a game. Brandon Katz, Makar's skill set is different. Look, I hate this statement. You're built different. And I know you didn't say that, Brandon. But I have to say it. I think Makar is built different. Goaltending and defense optional tonight, Kerry says from his goaltending buddy. Joe, thank you for backing up, just saying they're just wrong. That's fair. It feels wrong, doesn't it? But whatever, justify the rules to us again. So this, I'll get on the soapbox. This is why hockey doesn't grow. In my opinion, we all get the game. We're smart people here. This is why hockey isn't growing. Very difficult to grow a game when people barely understand the rules, and even the smart people barely understand the rules. It's crazy, and they're not the NFL. No, we didn't talk about Kadri's offside goal. I don't know. I'll have to take a look at it when I go back to the tape for my video. I didn't see it as offside. Yeah, Heiskanen plays on his offside. When they call it the weak side, though, some people don't think of it as the weak side because you get a lot of advantages to playing in your off wing. Daniel, I do have off-season content. I do not go away for the off-season. I slow down to about 2 videos a week in the off-season, though. And I try to pivot my off-season content into more things like rankings, general interest videos. Then as the season starts, I'll get back into rankings, power rankings, game of the week, news and notes, stuff like that. The tough thing is in the playoffs, I kind of spoil you guys because as a one-man show, I book this off with work in my life. I'm going to go 8 weeks hard for the playoffs. And then I'm going to go back to 2 or 3 videos. For everybody else, like me and Gary, we're talking about this in the chat. At some point in the near future-ish, it is actually getting big enough that I'm starting to think about how I can expand beyond a one-man show. So what Shannon and the hockey guy does, like, to be able to put out that amount of content, like, that's his job. I've got other commitments I have to make, so I don't go anywhere. I do videos all year. The longest you'll see me gone is a week and a half at most, but you'll get notification from me if you're subbed. And then I'm back. So in order to bring you guys the best, as people are really looking for this content for their teams, I'm always on the hunt for someone that has a bit of a coaching or a hockey background that I can start grooming to start taking over certain areas. Like, I'd really like to have someone that does the Leafs with me. So it doesn't mean I go away. It means I have a main Leafs guy. I do some Leafs with them. Then they do the Leafs to there. I want to find a guy to do Tampa Bay. I want to find a guy to start picking up teams almost similar to the way the Athletic or Barstool did it as they grew. Same with a social media manager. Like, as we keep going, I'm thinking about this. So all these super chats and everything you've given me, none of it gets spent. I don't spend a dime of it on myself. It goes right in. I have a business account, goes right into the business account. All of it's going to be reinvested back into content. My brain is constantly thinking about how I can expand, grow, copy myself. So I really appreciate you guys being here on the ground floor. Yeah, Joe, I mean, you got to. If you're going to do this all yourself, it's one thing I've learned as a people leader. You can't be alone in this. No, Shannon's on another level. Like, let's be honest, he's one of the pioneers of YouTube, especially hockey. He's been around for so long in what he's doing in that sense that he has a great head start. He's amazing. And his dedication to being able to make videos is fantastic. Just fantastic. So I give him all the props in the world for everything that he does in that. I mean, it would be awesome, eh? If you got a rub from the hockey guy one day, how cool would that be? I got a lot of guys that jump on the channel and say, I like you better than a hockey guy. And I go, I don't know, man. Shannon's pretty awesome. You know, like in pro wrestling, they call it the rub. If that guy ever said like, hey, I heard something from this hot garbage sports channel, I'd blow up. I'd fanboy out. Like, unbelievable. Mike says, love the channel. I've been watching hockey for about 23 years, roughly. Never played it, strictly a fan. Love that you teach the game from the coaching standpoint. I got lucky with this, guys. Like, my friends, I don't think they believed me that when I said I would start this, I thought there was a hole in hockey in terms of coaching and analytical understanding. I figured people would want to nerd out, and that's my niche. And you got to have humor in it, too. Too many guys are just like, even gals, they just want to be neutral and not funny. It's why I like Kevin Bieksa. Call it as it is. Have a little bit of fun with it. Sometimes the fans get pissed off at you. It is what it is. Hockey guy is dope, but dry. Like, so hockey guy is the traditional neutrality of hockey. So there's nothing wrong with that. There's a place for that. That's why I wanted to go with a little more humor and kind of upscale. This is who I am. Like, I'm not faking anything you see here on camera. This is my personality. So I'm not quite Steve Dangle. He's really over the top. I think Steve plays a character. I think this is him, though. I think it's him with the volume turned up to 10. So Steve is Steve, and he's perfect at it. You know, as they used to say in wrestling, you want to be a good character. Be yourself. Turn the volume up to 10. So I think that's what Steve does better than anybody. And I think Shannon's got that nice neutrality in the middle. And my thought behind this was filling in something a little more on the other side. So I appreciate that, Dimitri. I try to take that angle. Yeah, he is a little less biased. I agree. Mike says I'm turning into a Rangers fan. Hey, here's the thing. You'll always see this on this channel. So anybody who's been here for a while can tell you the Joes have been here forever. I may shit on your team because I don't like it at the point in time of where they're at with hockey, and they can turn me. There's no question. So here's the thing with hockey team. We can't, like if you're with us here in the HTS, we can't be in a bubble where we're just laser focused on one thing. You got to adjust game by game, and then you got to realize when, all right, something else is happening than what I thought should or could happen, and pivot. That's the best part about sports. You know, these guys are in full control of their own destinies. So just because it should happen doesn't mean it won't. And that's what I love about hockey. I love it. Anthony, you played through 6. That's amazing. Anthony, are you Canadian or American? Yeah, I found with a lot of coaches, Anthony, at the young age, they don't teach the games to that level. I started playing at 4. My least favorite team. So if I had to pick least favorite teams, my brand of hockey that I don't enjoy watching, but I respect and understand, because you got to respect the win. I don't enjoy teams that fall back into the old school neutral zone trap, if you will, and really want to keep low shot counts and win by low scores. And it's not because I don't get it. It just, I like dingers like everybody else. You like speed. So I can appreciate the defensive game. But when I think about the Dallas-Calgary series, that almost put me to sleep. I watched every game of it, but I'm telling you, like late night, bad time zone for me. I'm just going like, oh my goodness, 1-0. Ottinger with a save again. 15 shots. Let's go. Thanks, Chupa. I appreciate it. You found me at the deadline. That's pretty cool. Trap is boring, but effective. I agree. Joe says Islanders. That's Trotz hockey. I think the Islanders are going to really transform now that Trotz is out. He's going to come to Winnipeg and bring us a cup with that Trotz style hockey. I didn't like the Tampa Florida series. I loved it. I loved it, Gary. And why I loved it, even if there isn't a lot of goals, there was a ton of shots. Like at any point in time, it was going to go in. With Dallas and Calgary, it just felt like they were hanging around in the neutral zone. Joe. You'll notice I stay away from some of those facts, Joe. I actually, we have a really good group here of, I can see it in my statistics. We've got a really great, strong group of first-time hockey fans, a lot of females that have jumped in. I think that's awesome. So I definitely don't want it to always feel like it's Ferda and Ferda boys. It's pretty cool, but I definitely want people from all places to enjoy it. Capitals defense has been trashed since Tross left. Yeah, and I mean, it's not just defense, it's team defense, right? I know that's what you're mentioning, Brandon. I'm just clarifying it. It's team defense. It's how you play as a unit of 6. The rub is when a team can use the trap effectively and then transition it. Every team has the trap in their arsenal. Every team. Joe says I'm wise. That's not my first rodeo. Hey, we got a Wild fan in here. No, you are not boring anymore. You are 100%. The Wild are not boring. That is a banger of a team. All gas. Avoid loud YouTubers if they're shouting. So sometimes I am shouting. That's the funny thing, but I don't know how it sounds right now because I don't have a gain control on it, but I actually equalize my voice out so you don't get that. So I hope you guys notice that with the editing. I put a lot of time into my audio editing. My video is okay, but I try to spend as much time as I can on audio. And every now and then I release a video where I forget to compress and edit the audio. And I watch it 3 hours later and I cry. I'm like, no, I've screwed everybody. The audio's trash. The last Ranger game I put out, game 7, my audio popped and I was too tired to re-record and I felt so bad for everybody. I even saw it. The watch time is normally about 10 minutes per video. It dropped to 6, and I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't watch this either. Terrible audio. 49 shutout by Vasi. That was a clinic. 1-3-1 trap. Yes, they did. Right down the middle. Every team has a 1-3-1 that they can deploy. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate it. You guys, like, here's a fun fact. 13 months ago, never used Adobe a day in my life. Never edited a thing a day in my life. All self-learned. Had no idea what I was doing. Still don't, technically. Wish the Stars weren't boring. Well, here's the thing with the Stars, though. I think the 3-player core that they have, it's funny, they're all drafted together. Robertson, Heiskanen, and Ottinger carry. Like, that core is such a wonderful core to build around. Robertson is a monster. Ottinger is amazing. Like, Robertson is probably my favorite underheralded winger in the NHL. Like, even as a Jets fan, I can respect Robertson. Like, he is just, oh, he's scary. Hintz is great. I got no issue with him. Pavelski, obviously that veteran presence, still doing it. You got my YouTube grade 10? Oh, nice. I got my YouTube grade 10. Yes, I do, Zombie. At best. I could join a grade 11 editing class. Radulov signed with the KHL team. The KHL's in trouble, guys. I don't know what's going to happen, but they had 235 import players. Right now, they only have 6. A lot of the North Americans and Europeans are keeping their intent of what to do next year under wraps. Thanks for subbing, Daniel. Yeah, not wanting to get into any of the political stuff at all. I like to stay away from that as much as I can for everybody. Just keep it about puck, but the reality is most of the North Americans and Europeans have not made their intent known in the KHL. And if they don't get import players, it's going to be in trouble. Wow, Daniel, welcome to the team, my man. I appreciate the support. Thanks for joining the members page. Join our Discord. Hook up with Gary here. He'll give you our Discord if you don't have it. And I'll make sure to invite you into, we have a private chat room in the Discord for members as well, too. New Jersey games are cheap. I feel like you get everything good in New Jersey. People make fun of New Jersey, but like, I don't know. You're so close to New York. You can go to Manhattan when you want. You get games when it's cheap. You got 3 hockey teams to cheer for. Yeah, you cheer for the Devils, but I mean, the Islanders and Rangers are close enough. I'll be honest. If I was a New Yorker, and New Yorkers, you probably hate me for this, I would just be a fan of all 8 teams. Probably 9, including the Devils. I'm just a sports nut. Like, whoever's hot, I'd just be like, yeah, that's my team now. Same with Chicago. I'd be both a White Sox and a Cubbies fan. And I get it. I understand the north side, south side piece of Chicago. Understood. But as an outsider moving there, I'd just be like, sports, I'm in. This is from a guy who comes from a small town, though, that has 1 pro sports team in hockey. So to have a whole bunch of teams feels just like a lottery. New Jersey's a horribly run state, horrible taxes, and horrible state government. Well, Brandon, let's keep politics and that out of there, but I appreciate your thoughts. I can't comment on it. A guy made 3 games the same night? That'd be amazing. That's a legend. Ryan says, as a New Yorker, that's unacceptable. I get it. I'm not a New Yorker, though, so I wouldn't know what I was doing. I'd just be fans of teams. I go to New York, I look around, I'm like, oh, look at this. Unreal city. Love it. 7-4, 1837 on my screen here. Anytime you guys see a neutral zone or a defensive zone pass like there where one defenseman's in front of the other and it goes back, they call that a hinge. Fun little term you can use with your friends if you didn't know it. It's called the hinge pass. Hinge back to your partner. There'll be another hinge pass. Boom, right there. Colorado to Colorado. You always got to be about a foot behind your player. That's done on purpose, not an accident. Joe's from Norfolk. Red Skull Stars have potential. I mean, when you are a team that has potential to build like the Stars and you make the playoffs, it's huge. We got a breakaway here. Goal? No, Koskinen save. Good angle play there by Koskinen, getting big, coming out to challenge. Hinge pass here again by Colorado. I feel like if Edmonton can score before like the 13-minute mark, we got a game. If this gets to the 10-minute mark down 3, call it. The odds of catching a 3-goal lead in the NHL is so small too, and the Oilers have done it twice. The fact they caught a 3-goal lead and a 4-goal lead is also mind-blowing. I can't believe that goal didn't go in on the backhand there from Colorado. Letkinen unable to put it in. Nice acquisitions at the trade deadline by Colorado for real. Turi Letkinen, really nice ad. Habs got poached beautifully. Kulak over to Edmonton is awesome as well too. Habs giving up their top guys. It's actually what the Rangers remind me of. They remind me of the Habs last year. Slightly better team. No offense to the Habs fans if you're in here, but I think the Rangers slightly better offensively than the Habs were last year, but hot goalie can take you far. He's dead. Shot to the... Oh, boy. He is down. Shot blocking is nasty. There's that goal before the 13-minute mark. Insult to injury there. Down on a block shot. Burakovsky absolutely eats one there. He'll be... Yeah, he is very bruised. Probably in the soft spot on the ankle. I don't know if Burakovsky wears shot blockers. Let's see it here. Give me a better angle to see this block shot here. Sometimes I actually feel like players don't wear enough equipment on these shot blocks, to be honest. Really nice play by Cassian here behind the net. Looking like a skilled guy. Derek Ryan puts it in. Fourth line goal. That's beauty. That's what you want out of life. Burakovsky goes back to the room. Playoffs are brutal. Playoffs are a war of attrition. We all know that. Little bit of luck, little bit of health. Who can go next man up? Everybody's going to be hurt in the playoffs. Punishing. Just a punishing game. I think hockey would be way more popular. Like 82 games, you know players are saving themselves. They're just not playing the same way as they can in the playoffs. And there's no way they could keep the pace up. Crazy that this game is 35 to 30 shots now. Totally turned around after the sheer dominance of Colorado in the first period. See, Brock, I don't know if it's bye-bye Oilers. I mean, remember, Calgary won that first game, and I've seen Edmonton, have glimmers of hope in this game. Woodcroft's not a joke of a coach. He may adjust. If Colorado does this again in game 2, I'll go with the bye-bye Oilers. Play the in-sync song. Do the jump. Nurse jumping in. Puts it over the net. It's about as useful as he's been tonight. McDavid will finish it in OT. Take your screens, folks. Okay, Prismatic, we got you. Sitting back here wouldn't be the play for Colorado. They need to keep their foot on the gas. If they sit back and go into, there's no name for it in hockey, but the prevent defense, if you will, if they go back into that, prevents you from winning. Kopp did apologize for losing the first rounder. I think everybody in New York, including Drury, was happy with that. As a Winnipegger, I was happy with it. McDavid doing McDavid things here. Moves it to the front of the net. Tip ends up going wide. This is going to be the dangerous line for the Oilers. Colorado survive. It's McKinnon. What I really like here about Colorado is they line up the McKinnon line against McDavid. I don't like when guys put out checkers against top lines when you have a top line. You got to let your big guys play against the big guys. If your line one can't beat their line one, something's going wrong. You got to trust your elite players. So I really like that Bednar has put out McKinnon against McDavid, as he should. As he should. Play best on best. Too many people, I think of line one as all offensive on NHL teams. If you're line one, you got to be able to do it all. If you're going to eat up 30 to 40% of the minutes, you need to be able to do it all. No, Kemper hasn't been spectacular. It's 5 goals. 4, I think, on Kemper, right, guys? I think 1 was Fran Coots. Francouz. Whatever. Never get it. Oh, Markstrom was terrible. Markstrom was useless. Shooter-tutor in net. All that money paid for an elite Vezina winning goaltender, he does that. Between the Vezina nods to both Grubauer and Markstrom, brutal. No offense to Colorado fans, but Grubauer is brutal. We called him as brutal last year. Goes over to Seattle, just ugh. I could just say Pavel. You're right. I could cheat it and do that. I like it. McDavid skating is McDavid was born in a lab, Red Skull. Absolutely born in a lab. Sandy says playoff hockey is a lot more fun after your team is eliminated and you no longer have a dog in the right to break your heart. So Sandy, it's funny. I thought about this after I started a YouTube channel, is that, there was a lot of teams I didn't like and a lot of narratives that I took because you only watched your team. And then when you start watching the whole league, it's funny how it softens your opinion on everybody. You start really understanding what you like, what you don't like, what looks good, what looks bad. And you can make a pretty reasonable call where you're like, I think X team is a good team and I think X team's not a great team. And sometimes the not a great team surprises you, but that's okay. You smile, you move on, you appreciate the surprise as opposed to feeling disappointed or heartbroken. You still cheer for your team, but it feels better. Good point there, Sandy. Luca, what's going on? 1524. Ryan Sullivan. I love that there's so many Ryans in the comments. Great name. Underrated. Heavy usage in the 80s. Died in the 90s. 2000s basically didn't exist. Calgary is going to have to blow it up, Anthony. Their free agents, I think, are going to force them to. And not a full blow up. I would call it a soft rebuild. If Johnny Gaudreau doesn't re-sign, and I think he's going to America, they'll have to retool a little bit. Players play very different knowing they're up against McKinnon or McDavid. They get up for the game. They get really pumped up for it. Some of them get so pumped up that they make mistakes. Everybody wants to play against the best. There's not a single player in the NHL that isn't jacked up to play against these guys and find it as just as much of a privilege, but they're not in awe of the player when they play against them. They are playing hard. Do coaches put specific plans in place? Some do, some don't, Red Skull. Some have a very specific plan on how to deal with a player. I will go ahead and tell my players to be aware of certain tendencies of that player when they're on the ice. But I'm going about it as business as usual. I'm going to play my best, and I expect my best to be able to beat their best. Even if they're not as good as the best, like Calgary doesn't have a player as good as McDavid did, but you got to rely on your depth and your team structure to be able to do it. And if you don't, you're going to lose. I think that's what happened to Calgary. Not only did they play poorly, but they wasted way too much time focusing on McDavid. Just play your game. Colorado's played their game. And I mean, like I said before the game started, Red Skull, they're going to, McDavid's going to get 3 points. Just shrug your shoulders. There's nothing you can do. It doesn't matter what it is. You got to outscore the Oilers. And the Avs have done it with 7. That is the blueprint. They have 12 UFAs now. I think you're talking about the Flames. They have a lot of UFAs. Gary says Ryans are taking over the chat. Ryan number 16 has entered the chat. Luke has retracted his message. Says I don't want it out there. Ryan is your least favorite sibling. That's fair. How many siblings you got? Koskinen makes that save. Edmonton's got to get a goal here, in my opinion, before the 8-minute mark. Edmonton can score before the 8-minute mark. That's huge. This is as good as a goal, this save. This is massive. Keeps you alive. That's a very difficult save to make. Controlling that rebound is key. Landeskog, beautiful feed over to Nichushkin. I can't believe how good Nichushkin is adjusted. Russian and European players can have trouble adjusting to the North American game due to the size of ice they play on. It can take 5 or 6 years. That was the reality with Nichushkin. He's dialed in now. Koskinen has played well. I agree, Brandon. He's going over to Europe next year. He knows he ain't getting an NHL contract. He's exiting stage left. He got the bag at $4.5 million. Then he's out. Kadri, terrible pass. Easy breakout. Thanks to Kadri. Got to be careful you don't trip him behind the net there, Hyman. Lucky Rantanen didn't spill. Good save there. What's up, Brian? How you doing? Which shot? I'm sorry, I didn't know which one you're referring to. Big fan of the Russians that played for Tampa. Wow, Gooch is pretty good. Hedman's a Swede. Vasi's a Russian. Very good. Oh, Landeskog's a fantastic captain. You know, I just remember the old days of Don Cherry yelling about Swedish players, and I'm like, have you seen Landeskog play? That guy is tough as nails. Like, he is the blueprint for what you want in a captain and a big player up front. Love Landeskog. Deserved all the money he got. I think Landeskog, hot take, is more important than Rantanen to the Avs. In order, I would say Makar first, McKinnon second. Even hotter take. What's up, Lucas? How you doing? Nichushkin stepped up huge this year. What the Avs are getting out of Kadri and Nichushkin is awesome. Arturi on the trade's fantastic. Ryan O'Reilly's an elite player. My opinion on Ryan O'Reilly is simple. He is an elite player up and down the ice. Game changer. What do I think about the Makar goal call? The NHL says it's onside. Everybody on the panel and everything says this is why it's onside. So whatever. I think it's a stupid rule. Once again, the NHL follows its own rules and they're stupid. That's what I think. Landeskog is like O'Reilly. I would say that. Landeskog is either the Swedish O'Reilly or O'Reilly's the Canadian Landeskog. Whichever way you want to look at it. Edmonton finally getting some zone control. Easy little tip in down below. Draisaitl battling down low. McDavid just enters into the ice. But here's Makar to carry it up the ice. So smooth with the puck. What makes Makar so special is he's so confident carrying the puck until he loses space. Still confident then, but then he moves it. He passes it. He's always making the right decision with the puck. I don't know if you guys remember this from another video, but when you play hockey, you want to move your feet first, and Makar does. Then you want to think about it. You actually engage your feet before your brain. Breakaway here. Huge save by Koskinen on Kadri there. Kadri, I feel like, is one of the few people in the NHL that properly wears his mouth guard. I'm always shocked when everybody doesn't wear a mouth guard. Optional in the NHL. Mind-blowing. Ryan, number 66. Joe, that's funny. Bergeron is the most underrated player in the NHL, Anthony. You can get me on a tirade about if you reset everybody back to age 19 in the NHL right now, everyone's age 19. Who are you drafting? Number 1, I'm drafting Crosby, even over McDavid. Number 2, I'm taking Bergeron. Number 3, I'm taking McDavid. I think that highly of Bergeron. You can build a winner around Bergeron all day, every day. That chat made me Ryan. I wouldn't say Makar is a nicer Scott Stevens, Brian. I would actually say Makar is a better Scott Niedermayer. And that's a hell of a compliment. Niedermayer is one of the best skaters ever in the NHL, one of the best defensemen ever. I think Makar can do even more than what Niedermeyer could do. And he's physical. 8-8. Okay, Luca, we're in. Bergeron on the Leafs. The Leafs win 2 cups. Bergeron on the Leafs next year. The Leafs win the cup. I think Bergeron either retires or stays in Boston. That's his only 2 choices. I think he's going to sign 1 more year, but I think it's either Bergeron or not. CJ, what's going on? Jets fan in Vancouver. You and Peg City Hockey. Anytime people shit on my team, I remind them they took Uli over Kachuk. That's funny. Wrong pick. Oh, Brian, I know. That is a hot take. Sometimes I have insane takes in my head that I save for streams. I don't even know if I'd throw that out on a video, but I believe it. That's the insane thing. I buy into what I'm selling right now. I'm that high on him. It's because Bergeron plays in the dirty zones and he leads to another level. There's just not a thing Bergeron can't do in the game of hockey. He can score, he can play defense, he can kill, he can power play, he can lead your room. He's got it all. Kane's yelling about stuff. I don't know what he's yelling about. That was a lot of yelling for nothing. Yeah, I agree. Oilers got to get one before the 8, I believe. The Magic Man was sick. Datsuk, best hands ever in the NHL. Him and Zetterberg, 2 of the most underrated players to ever play, if you can even call them underrated. Those 2 and the Mule made up the Red Wings there on their cup winners. Awesome, awesome 3 of them. But Datsuk was the man. Curtis or a chat in the chat. Malkin is a top 3 Russian player of all time. Very good NHL player. Top 3 Russian of all time. Malkin is good, but Sid is Sid. I mean, when I think of hockey, I think, yeah, everybody's, it's hard to compare generations, so I actually try not to. What's happening here? Okay, Landeskog's going to the box. This is going to open it up. Tries that veteran maneuver, as you call it, cheating in the rules. Doesn't work out. Power play. So we're on to commercial now. Yeah, I don't like comparing players from generations because, like, Gretzky's one. Gordie Howe is a different generation. Same with Bobby Orr. They all have a claim to the greatest of all time. Everybody says it's Gretzky because it's Gretzky, but, you know, it's not really a weak hold shoot because he spins. I think Malkin's slowing down big time, Gary. Big time. Those injuries have gotten to him. Big man. Malkin or Cooch, who do you start your team with? Restart them both to 19. I'm taking Malkin. We got the recency bias on Cooch, but Malkin had a great 10 years. Yeah, see, Studio gets it. Different era. It's a different game. So right now in the modern era, if you had a Mount Rushmore in like the last 20, 25 years, Crosby's for sure there. Ovechkin's for sure there. McDavid's got to be there. Matthews is arguably there. I don't know. I think Sid's only had 4? I know only, but Andrew Kopp's had 5. Everybody deals with head injuries differently, so who knows? Chris Pronger is the GOAT. You either love Pronger or you hate Pronger, and what Pronger brought to the game night in and night out was something special. That was a nasty player to play against. Wow. McKinnon could be up there as well too, Luca. I mean, does anybody disagree that McDavid, Ovechkin, and Crosby? Is it just the debate for 4? Or would somebody take off one of those 2? I I mean, at a point, there was an argument for Taze, but he really did fall off a cliff. A lot of cups, though. Winning guy. No, you can base it off anything, Nick. Anything you want. I think Rushmore over the last 20 years, you have to include playoffs. Playoffs matter. It's funny. There's always that argument here. Just wait for the playoffs. It's a different game. Like we throw out an 82-game sample size from the season. And then we think about awards as only, oh my God, Draisaitl. Missed wide by a mile. They got to reset this back at the top here with Barrie. I think if they're going to score here, yeah, they should be looking to do it down low, not off the point. I wouldn't be looking for Barrie to tee up the big one. I'd be playing 4 down low like they are. Back to the top, though. No, good. He kept it down low. Smart play. Back of the net. Boom! Keep it down low. Too many teams go to the top. Goalies aren't ready for all this down low. Beauty play. Fooled even me. I thought he was going up. Little nifty backhand and the Nuge. Playoffs do matter, Dan the man. They matter. Like, McDavid fooled me with that backdrop. I thought he was going up. Absolutely fooled me. There's Holly getting pumped. Yeah, of course this game's insane. It's the Avs in Edmonton. 13 goals. I feel like we've seen this movie before, team. We've been on the ride. Edmonton loses it, but we've all got the t-shirt. We ate at the cafeteria at the end of the ride. Joe bought a mug. I was there. We got that 2 goals at about the time marks I think you need to get them. As coaches, we're always counting in our head. We do that a lot. Every single one of us, we have to score by here. We have to do this by here. Everything is time-stamped in your head because you know the likelihood of being able to generate chances. So I had this at 8 minutes. They scored at 7:11. That's all right. Only 45 seconds behind pace. That's exactly what I'd be telling myself on bench. We're 45 seconds behind the pace. But now, with 6 minutes left, only a 1-goal game, you got a puncher's chance. Colorado's just got to put foot on gas. If they score here, it's a dagger. Absolute dagger if Colorado gets a goal. You can see the buzzing of Colorado. Interesting that Woodcroft trusts Cassian with 6 minutes left. He's going to get a goal off it! Unbelievable that went wide. He's got a lot of trust in Cassian tonight. I would struggle to put out my 4th line right now. Good for him. Big hit there by Cassian. Good coaching by Woody. That's why he's in the pros. Don't take a stupid penalty here by making a dumb hit. Either team, you don't want to take a penalty. Tendency here is to get aggressive. Don't do it. Get aggressive on the puck. Oh, Barrie. Don't take bad shots, Barrie. You don't want to be shooting those into shin pads right now. You got very lucky. That puck died. One bad bounce off shin pads, it's gone the other way. That's the nervous thing about Barrie. He can be magic and he can be a turnover machine. Don't play with it at your blue line. I know nobody here is a kid, but tell your kids, don't play with pucks at the opposing blue line. Stupid, stupid play. Just get it deep. Look at this again. Look, you're going to pass it through 100 people. Unbelievable. This is the point, guys. You don't ever see me get hot. This is the point. If I'm on a bench, I'm getting hot. I'm getting real hot about this. Like, you're not putting it in deep. You're doing stupid things in the middle, and you can't yell at your players right now. You cannot be screaming at this point in time on the bench because all you're going to do is get in your player's head. At this point, you just got to be calm and let your players play, but stupid plays by the Oilers. You're quietly cursing to yourself. Maybe ripping with your assistants. Good save there by Koskinen. McDavid ends up coughing it up the middle there. This could be a goal. If that sniper scope was dialed in, that was in the back of the net. Misses high and wide. You miss high and wide, it ends up in the back of your net. Oilers on the rush right now. I don't know why, but if you can't score in a rush, it usually ends up in the back of your net. So Colorado survives that one. Jordan just realized he wasn't live. What's going on, Jordan? I don't know if I would prefer most games with the lacrosse score, like I say. Like, this is like an indoor game of box lacrosse, but it sure is fun. I don't know if I'd want every game to be like this, but this is sure fun. What a nice pass here to CC. You can't, like CC, this is the difference between an elite scorer like a Makar or a Fox and a guy like CC. Just hitting a leg. You can control that. It is so intense right now, Red Skull. I'm fired up. Hey, Ryan. The Tampa Rangers series might not have many goals. No, I don't think it will, but I still think it's going to be good hockey, just in a different way. Jordan was 5 minutes behind hearing about Mount Rushmore. Sorry, buddy. Welcome to the chat, though. If you guys haven't subbed, please do that. It's free. Thumbs up if you haven't done it yet, please. It is fun when it's a lot of good goals. I don't know if I'm going to break down every goal tonight. That's a lot of goals, guys. Like, that's a 45-minute video of goals. The only reason you don't see me breaking down other things other than goals is we'd be here for a week. Studio says high school lacrosse team's going for another state championship, but you guys play field. We play field sometimes up here. I played mostly box. The Minnesota Swarm back in the day. I don't know if you know that name, Studio. 13 goals dead. If you have the Oilers in your playoff pool, you are likely winning. Let's take a look here at the team stats. So there you go. McDavid with 3 points. Like, we were thinking after the first, we haven't seen McDavid, and there he is. Hey, Stephanie, how you doing? Thanks for subscribing. Really appreciate it. Welcome. Someone put a bet for over 12.5. They're going to move that over underline big time next time. Hey, Scotty, how you doing? Scotty, you're new to the membership team, the coaches staff. Thanks for being here. Gary's our moderator today. Are you in our Discord, Scott? If not, let's get you set up. How was that not tripping? The refs just in the playoffs are like, we're cool. A lot of kids went to the now defunct Pro League. So yeah, the pro field league there, I believe you're talking about. I had an opportunity to play for the Minnesota Swarm. I was a good lacrosse player, way better than I was hockey player. I was an all right hockey player. It was like lacrosse was my jam. Puck down low with CC. CC on the forecheck. 3 minutes left. See, this is why we needed the goal at 8 minutes, because you're just counting time as a coach. McKinnon's going to cut in by himself. McKinnon on McDavid. Nice defense, captain on captain. Criminality there. Love it. No way McDavid's letting McKinnon get loose. You're going to see a lot of Makar, a lot of McDavid. Draisaitl ends up moving it to the point. Gets picked off here, though. Proper interference there by Nurse. Crowd wants a call. They deserve it. Not going to get it at this point in the game. Ref, you suck chance should be coming in. That is the consistency of the NHL. Yo, Mick, what's going on? Playoff refs consistency, never going to happen, right? All right, Nurse, this is your opportunity to redeem yourself. Oh, Draisaitl is tired. He is exhausted. If that reach and body language didn't tell you, Coach, I am tired. He tries to shoot it short side from on the goal line. Oh, boy. Risky play. I'd be calling the timeout now. Give him a rest. That is a goal scorer. That is a confident man. He tries to put it off Franco's ear hole into the net. You only do that when you're the best. Oh, I don't know, Mick. It's raining here. It's trash weather. Figured I'd stream. Last minute choice. Empty net, Sandy. You know it. Yeah, Scotty, join that Discord. It's where all the cool kids are hanging out. Exclusive chat room too, my guy. Chupa, if you want a spiffy green thing, there's a members button that you end up joining. It's a monthly fee. Starts at $2. There's one at $5. There's one at $29. All go to support the channel. So we kind of have the tier where it's like, hey, you're just here to support, no big deal. $2 is great. Gets you the perks of the chat. Spiffy green. Colors will change the longer you stay. $5 gets you shout outs, couple little extra access things. $29 gets you the executive videos to be made for you. Tell me whatever you want me to make, and I'll make you one a month. Long as it's hockey. There's always a haha joke on that one. All right, here we go. Minute 49 left. Chupa, you're in the Discord too. That's free regardless. Colorado wins the draw. Edmonton gets possession, though. They send all dogs on the puck. Keep the puck in the zone. That's huge. Goal! Oh, my God. I thought that was in. Unbelievable shot there by Kane. Francouz keeps it out. Cleared puck. He's going to skate as slow as he can, but it's no good. It's no icing. Minute 20. Lot of time left. Lot of time. Nothing to panic. Get the zone. Don't dump and chase. They dump and chase. Okay. Sure. Control the zone. Whatever. This is what happens when you dump and chase. You deserve that. You deserve everything that happened to you there. And he calls that icing. Really? Really? Oh, I wouldn't call that. You're right. In American, it is cheaper. Mick, I did set my pricing in Canadian. You are correct. So, I mean, $2 Canadian. It's like free money. Oh, man. The monopoly money that is Canada. That's a weak icing call. I agree. We should hate the dump and chase. Terrible, terrible thing to do at this point in the game. Control, carry the zone. They need to win the draw here. They end up winning the draw. Hold it back. Settle it down. You're going to have 5 guys in the outside, 1 in the middle. Looks like it's going to be dry. You can't pass around a bumping puck. Draisaitl buries it in. Rebounds. Francouz is back. Mcdavid ends up picking up the puck here. Lots of time. Don't force it. No, they're going to force it. Everybody's going to force it. All right. 38 seconds. Still time to set up here. What a game. Aren't we having fun? Regardless of whether Edmonton wins or loses this game, I think Edmonton is, you got to feel good about the way you ended it. This is going to go in the back of the net now. Empty netter. Didn't I say we've been here before? On the, we've been on this ride? Was Calgary, Edmonton, was it 8-6 or 8-7? I feel like this is the exact same pattern. Nine six. All right, 9-6. Close, but we've been on this ride before, team. No, I don't think they'll bench Smith for 2, but you were right on him being pulled, Brandon, so you may get it. I will definitely admit it if you get it. Koskinen played great at the end, but I feel like Woody will go back to Smith. But so far, you are 1-0 against Coach Ryan D. Awesome, Scotty. Glad you're there, buddy. I agree, Daniel. Great effort by the Oilers. Good rebound. They're going to feel good about this on the road. I mean, they are. You guys may think that sounds crazy, but I mean, there's positives to take from the game. Brandon, I'll shout you out next video if you're right about Koskinen starting. I'll give you the props, buddy. Oh, that offside is very important. Very important. Yeah, I mean, the short of this is that it's you're the road team right now. You've come into Colorado. You've shown that, you know, you can score when you need to score. You got to tighten up your defense. Your goalie has to stop a puck. Smith bounces back. Every time Smith gets pulled and shelled, he bounces back strong. He has a tendency to do that. And all you got to do is win one on the road. You don't have to win both. So Colorado's done their job. They won their home game. Bransu ends up taking it. Chris, I want to make a video. I'm going to start the Oilers video now. It's probably going to take me till midnight to be done. I may or may not get there. I might try to make a short condensed one. So I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to start talking to the camera and see if I can get up 2, but no promises on the Ranger one. I got to get this one up first. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Enjoy the chat. Hey, also, let me go ahead and drop in our Discord for you if you're not in there. So if you want to keep the chat going, we are at 263 members. It's bumping. There you are. I'm in there pretty often, guys. Not all day, every day, but especially in the playoffs, you'll see me there every day. So if you want to keep it going, it's great. We got Gary and Jacoby moderating in there. It's awesome. We'll see you guys.